Wow, that's loud. Ooh. My poor ears. Okay, so today we're gonna play Lamplight City, and it is a new game for me, and it's sort of a Sherlock Holmesy point and click kind of thing. My good friend Abster38 plays a lot of these point and click games, and they look very exciting. So let's solve a mystery. Let's see,
Bill, wake up! The carriage is on fire!
That's only funny when I do it to you.
What's the matter? Have a rough night?
Bit too much Bollingworth ale is all. That stuff really creeps up on you.
Sorry I couldn't join you, but I was long overdue for a quiet night in with Addie.
That's fine. There'll be plenty of other opportunities. Hell, maybe Adelaide can even join us. It's been ages since she last drank me under the table.
Afraid she mostly sticks to tea these days.
Miles, what exactly is it we're looking into? I may have dozed off during the briefing.
uh-oh.
Honestly, Bill, one of these days Snelling's gonna notice.
No, he won't. Why do you think they put him behind a desk? The man couldn't find his own backside with a pair of pliers and a lantern.
Very funny. Anyway, it's a burglary at the Hanbrook Flower Shop.
A burglary, eh? How dull. At least we'll have enough time to get a drink afterwards.
You seem awfully certain of that.
I am. In fact, I'd bet the devil my head that we're done within the hour.
Well, the devil's gonna be disappointed that his winnings are so meager.
Very cute dialogue.
Ah, we've arrived. After you, Bill.
City of New Brentagne. Braiding? I don't know. Borough of somewhere. Ha!
Thank you. Keep the change.
I do see a dirigible in the sky.
Our
Interesting.
night of excitement begins.
You, more than anyone else, should know that there's rarely a dull night in Chumley.
I have a feeling tonight will be the exception. Until we get to the pub, that is.
Keep your mind on the case, Bill. Now let's get a move on.
Okay, left click. Oh god, where's my mouse thing? Left is this one. Left click to interact with objects. Oh my god, it disappeared! I need the slow version. Okay.
Looks
I do
like they've
see
had
something.
some trouble with vandalism.
Pretty much every business in this part of town has.
Come on, Bill.
Nice.
Charming little place, isn't it?
Charming, but empty. We need to find the owner.
Always so to the point, Fordham. If ever there was a better time to stop and smell the flowers.
I think I'll leave that to you, Bill.
With my allergies? Hardly.
The staircase isn't very well lit.
I'll go first. That way you can catch me if I fall.
We should probably ask for permission before heading up there.
Can we pick up the lamp? Half price.
Not too many left. Seems business isn't so bad around here.
Well, you know what they say. There are only three certainties in life. Death, taxes, and people taking advantage of sales.
Oh, this is so cute.
This is quite the selection. Thank you. Come over here and take a whiff, Bill.
Sure, if you don't mind me getting snot all over your coat.
Oh, no, not the Myers case all over again. On second thought, you can just stay over there. Plants hanging on hooks. A nice space-saving method.
I'd probably bang my head against them constantly if I had them in my apartment.
These seem to be part of the watering system for the flowers.
I haven't seen old piping like this in a while. Seems like someone's reluctant to upgrade.
I can ring the bell. Yes.
Be right there. Oh, hello, gentlemen. I must say you caught me by surprise. I was preparing to close soon. May I help you find anything? The flowers in the center display are half price this week, and I have a special on chrysanthemums today. Or perhaps a custom bouquet for the special ladies in your lives?
I have no need myself, but maybe Adelaide would appreciate a little something. Eh, Miles? Those peonies in the corner look nice.
I'm afraid we're not here as customers tonight, ma'am. We'd like to have a word with the proprietor. Is he in?
I see. I'm Cecilia Handbrook, and this is my shop. What can I do for you, gentlemen?
I'm Detective Miles Fordham, and this is my partner, William Legere. We received a report of a burglary at your store.
A report? From whom? I never contacted the police before, and I didn't this time, either.
It was made anonymously, but are you saying this isn't the first time it's happened?
Correct. It's happened 3 times. But considering the police hardly care about the daily muggings and vandalisms around here, I didn't think they would be interested in something so trivial.
Well, we're here now, and we'll do all we can to help you.
We'll have to see about that.
If you wouldn't mind, Mrs. Handbrook, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Very well, Detective.
Okay, let's ask.
Could
about
you give me the
burglaries.
details concerning the burglaries?
About 3 weeks ago on Monday, I noticed that my order of Easter lilies was missing. At first, I thought nothing of it. Sometimes certain types of flowers are unavailable or arrive in poor condition. These things happen. Then 2 weeks ago on Wednesday, it happened again. But this time, I noticed something rather odd.
Go on.
When I opened the shop, there were 6 crowns and 10 shillings on the counter. That's exactly the cost of 2 orders of lilies. Last Friday, it happened yet again. The lilies were missing, and there was payment for 1 order on the counter. I believe that someone has been breaking into my shop after hours, taking the lilies, and leaving money behind.
How unusual.
Well, that's not theft.
Have you noticed any suspicious characters lurking around?
Detective Fordham, this is Chumley. You can't throw a stone without hitting a suspicious character. And if you've noticed my window, you'd be aware that stones get thrown around quite a bit in this neighborhood. If you're looking for trouble, you're far more likely to find it out there than in here.
I meant if you'd seen anyone out of the ordinary near your shop.
Only the 2 men from the police who entered it tonight. That is most definitely out of the ordinary.
She's so nice.
Have you found any evidence of a break-in?
No, the front door is always locked. My assistant Trevor and I are the only ones with the key.
Oh, it's
Are there any
Trevor.
other
It's
points of
Trevor.
access
He has
to
a
the building?
key.
The upstairs windows, I suppose, but I make sure to keep them locked, and neither of them have been broken.
Would you allow us to have a look upstairs?
Is that really necessary? I was just about to close up the shop.
It won't take but a moment.
Fine, I suppose you may, but please, don't dally too long.
You mentioned your assistant has the other shop key. What can you tell me about him?
His name is Trevor Hastings, and he has been working for me for the past 10
Ooh,
years.
10 years.
Do you trust him?
Implicitly. I've known him for ages, and he has been my full-time assistant since shortly after my husband died. You're not suggesting he had anything to do with this, are you?
Not at all. I would like to speak with him, though. Where might I find him?
It's Friday, so he should be on his way back from the docks right now. He'll be bringing my flower order within the hour.
Good. We'll meet him here, then. If that's all right with you.
I suppose I don't really have much of a choice, do I?
So, this burglar has been paying for the stolen goods?
That would appear to be the case, yes. I really don't think this could even be considered a crime. That's one of the reasons I didn't bother reporting it to the police.
And the other reasons?
Oh, I think I've already made those quite clear, Detective.
Wow.
Have you been in business long?
Yes, I opened this shop 30 years ago, along with my late husband, David. But the past 10 years, I've been running things on my own.
Don't you feel unsafe being here by yourself so late into the night?
Detective, when you've lived in this part of town as long as I have, it takes quite a lot to scare you.
I think that's all the information I need for now.
All right, Detective.
Access the case, but top or right click. Okay. Let's see what we have in our case book. Current case is Honor Among Thieves. The Hanbrook Flower Shop has been burglarized. Not exactly. Will the burglar return? Or is this investigation just a formality? Find a point of entry and wait for Trevor Hastings. Okay. Clues are the missing lilies, points of entry. We don't have any suspects yet or documents. Okay. Close this. Doorway. Ooh, we get to look around.
Interesting choice of decor in here.
Perhaps it wasn't always used as a storeroom, although I can understand why it would have been converted.
Yeah, it is rather drafty in here.
A rather distinguished-looking gentleman.
Reminds me of Captain Snelling, if he ever smiled.
A young lady. Perhaps a relation of Mrs. Hanbrook?
I can see the resemblance. Sort of.
I've seen this type of device before. It's a special container for growing plants. Specific temperature and water conditions can be adjusted. Seems to be empty right now, though. And judging by the dust, it hasn't been used in a long time, if ever.
It seems Mrs. Hanbrook isn't too fond of steam tech, or just doesn't understand it.
Ooh, that was not nice.
Unmarked, but if the smell is anything to go by, this is where the flowers are stored when delivered.
I'll keep my distance then.
Unmarked, but if the smell is anything to go by...
Okay.
I'll keep my distance then.
I don't think this window would serve as a viable means of entry.
It's a nice view, though. You can hardly see the vomit and manure piles on the street from up here.
Wow. What's this?
I would imagine that keeping a consistent temperature in here is important for the flowers.
When do you suppose this contraption was last serviced?
Hard to say. Definitely not recently, if the dust buildup is any indication.
Oh my fucking hell.
Oh. Hi, Julia. I didn't even see you come in. Doing great, doing great. Trying out this new game. I got a key, so I'm trying it out, see how it is. I really like the dialogue. I mean, it's really cute. And I don't have to read, so that's a bonus.
The window latch. Securely locked. Interesting. There's a gap between the window and the frame here. No wonder it's so drafty in this room.
Ooh, I solved the crime.
Wonder
What are you thinking, Fordham?
that it's time for an experiment. I'm going to need a tool, however. Something long and thin should do the trick.
Shouldn't be too hard to find something like that around here.
I've seen Abby do this in her stream. You stick something through there and you unlatch it.
This provides a means of escape from the top floor, or access to this window from the ground. This provides a means of escape from the top floor.
Yes, yes,
or
yes,
access
yes,
to
yes.
this. Interesting.
Okay, go this way.
A pastoral landscape. Definitely nowhere near here.
I've never much understood art, but it would be nice to see a place like that in
Not
person.
that clip.
Bill?
Got
What's going on, Miles?
furnace, heating room, whatever that is.
It's a humidifier, I believe. Hang on. I don't know. Yeah, let's talk
Gap
about
in
this.
the window upstairs is intriguing.
Do you think it might be the point of entry?
Indeed.
Of course
I
it
just need
is.
to find something long and thin to confirm my theory.
I think you were born with something like that, Miles.
You're disgusting, Bill.
I know. That's why I always do the dirty work.
What did he say? I missed it.
I think you were born with something like that.
I've heard of honor among thieves.
I went there too.
Have you
but I
ever known
said
a thief to
nose.
pay for stolen goods?
Perhaps conducting normal business is just too boring for him. Do you think he might be doing it for the thrill?
There could be any number of reasons. The best way to find out is to catch the culprit and ask him ourselves. You ever miss living out here, Bill?
About as much as you missed stepping in that pile of horseshit last week.
I was distracted by that story you were telling me about your sister. How's she doing out west, anyway?
Well, she's not in the chum, so fantastic. Living here was about as fun as wearing a vest made of meat to a dogfight. I'm glad we both managed to get out. Oh, and by the way, Miles, you didn't do such a great job of cleaning your shoes.
That would explain all the funny looks I've been getting. Still feeling rough, Bill?
Yes, but I'll feel better once this case is finished and we can go down to the Angel for a pint or four.
Hair of the dog?
No better medicine.
When's the last time you took any time off?
That's a good question. What year is this again?
I think we've both been working a bit too much lately. Addie's been wanting to go visit her mother in Dixie. Maybe we can all go.
That sounds nice, but I wouldn't want to be a third wheel on a visit to your in-laws. Unless... Would Adelaide's brother be there by any chance?
You're incorrigible, Bill.
It's one of my finer qualities.
Got any opinions on the upcoming election?
I'll just be glad when it's all over. It seems like the last few months have been nothing but people giving opinions and telling me what to do without a moment's peace.
I know what you mean. I already saw some kids putting up Atwood posters down my street.
I already drew mustaches in all the ones on my street.
Handlebar?
You know me too well.
I always thought of Atwood as more of a Van Dyke type of man myself.
I can see that. Yeah. Well, there's something to do tomorrow.
Oh, I'm scared to click it again.
You enjoying this weather? It's a nice evening for it, not too hot. I find a bit of fresh air always helps clear out the mental cobwebs.
It's just too bad the air in the chum is about as fresh as a week-old corpse. At any rate, it'll be winter before you know it. The whole city will be shut down, and we'll be digging bodies out from under the snowbanks.
Always something to look forward to. The ferry ride over was surprisingly uneventful, don't you think?
I know. It doesn't really feel like a visit to the chum without seeing at least one fistfight. Oh well, there's always the ride back.
What's your impression of dear old Mrs. Hanbrook?
I like her. Good old-fashioned, tough-as-nails chumley woman. Reminds me of my mother.
Your mother was never quite so stubborn. Why do you suppose she's so reluctant to accept our help?
It's a chum thing, Miles. You wouldn't understand.
Let's get back to it.
All right.
I would imagine that keeping a consistent temperature in here is important for the flowers.
When do you suppose this contraption was last serviced?
Hard to say. Definitely not recently, if the dust buildup is any...
Shelf.
Seems to be the broken pot storage area.
Why not just throw them away, I wonder?
It's likely they're going to be repaired. I noticed some faint cracks in some of the pots downstairs. Seems to be the broken pot storage area.
Yeah,
Why not just throw them away?
yeah.
It's likely they're going to be...
Yeah. I guess we'll go back down and see if we can get up the fire escape and open the door. Hotspot icons will change. Okay. Like that.
Aha! This hook is exactly what I need.
Ah.
Mrs. Hanbrook, may I borrow this hook for a few minutes? It's crucial to our investigation.
Is that so?
Yes, I promise I'll put it back as soon as I'm done.
Please do, Detective.
Nice. Okay, let's go out here. Would it be this way?
Certainly looks cozy in there.
Plants have a nice way of doing that. Fordham, what are you doing?
I was going to check inside this trash can for clues.
Miles, in the 15 years we've been partners, how many times have you found something inside a trash can that wasn't garbage?
Fair point. He's just pacing back and forth, muttering to himself.
Probably one of the patients from Riverview. Seems like there's more of them on the streets than in the asylum these days.
Glad this thing is lit. This isn't really the type of place I'd prefer to be at this time of night.
Don't worry, Miles. I've got your back.
How do I, how do I get to the fire escape?
Poor fellow. Looks like the streets are his bed tonight.
Better than jail, I suppose.
He'd at least get fed in jail.
True enough.
I can't believe that thing made it all the way across the Atlantic in less than a week.
Don't scoff at the future, Miles. Pretty soon, we'll all be riding those things to work.
Especially considering Prince Harold is their big celebrity passenger. That reminds me, I should pick up a bouquet for Addie when we're done here.
Seems like you've been spending more time with me than with her lately. I sure hope she's not the jealous type.
Okay, maybe we weren't supposed to go outside. Maybe we're supposed to go back upstairs.
Did you point at the window?
I did.
Pickles. First name Lenny, last name Pickles.
Oh yeah. Last played Fortnite. Nice.
Now I can ride Lenny Pickles.
This provides a means of escape from the top floor. The window latch, securely locked. This provides a means
Okay,
of
how am I supposed to get out there? Exit. I need to get on the fire escape. Maybe there's a back way out of the flower shop.
I have a few more questions for you, Mrs. Hambrook.
Very well, Detective. If it will help you conclude your investigation faster.
How do I get outside? There we go.
Mrs. Hambrook, were you aware that there's a gap in the frame of the small upstairs window?
Is there? I only go up there to check that the window is locked. I've never noticed a gap. Are you suggesting that's how the burglar is entering the store?
It's a distinct possibility, but I have yet to figure out exactly how.
Well, I trust you'll come to a satisfactory conclusion, Detective.
I think that's all the information I need for now.
All right, Detective.
How am I supposed to figure it out? I thought I would get on the fire escape, but I don't know how to get on the fire escape.
I didn't even see it. Wide glass does nothing to the window.
An all too common sight in this part of town.
Sad to say, it hasn't really changed much since I was a boy.
On the other side of the upstairs window was a fire escape,
Yeah, I know.
and I don't know how to get to it.
We've talked enough for now, Miles. Let me know when you've discovered something new.
I couldn't find it.
Were you actually going to do anything for them?
Yes, I want to perform the experiment. I really do. Let's try upstairs again. We can just go back and forth. That's fine. We have the hook. We've talked to everybody. We know there's an experiment.
You know, you told her you were hook back to the clip.
Good. Bill, it's time for our experiment.
There we go.
And what is this experiment going to be exactly?
Simple. I'm going to see if this hook can get me inside the shop.
Thank you.
Rather dark out here.
Watch your step, then. This experiment of yours isn't worth a broken neck.
I'll be fine. Now then, could you please close and lock the window, Bill?
Oh, come on. Got it. I'm so smart.
Well, I'd say this is fairly incontrovertible proof that the building can easily be broken into without arousing suspicion.
Where'd you learn how to do that, anyway?
You taught me, remember?
Nah. Are you sure it was me?
Positive. We were a few pints in at the Angel about 5 years ago, and you decided I should learn how to pick locks.
What else have I taught you how to do while drunk?
That would be telling.
Just a second.
Oh.
Ah, Trevor.
Evening, Cecilia. I've got the order ready to bring in.
Trevor, these are Detectives Fordham and Leger. They say there's been a report about the burglaries, and they're here investigating.
I only did it because I think it's been going on too long. As much as you want to, we can't handle this ourselves.
We can discuss the matter later. In the meantime, the detective would like a word with you.
I'll be needing to bring in the flowers first, if that's all right. Otherwise, some hooligan's likely to run off with them.
My partner will keep an eye on your flowers. Bill, would you mind?
Ah, the glamour of police work.
Now, Mr. Hastings, if I could ask you a few questions?
Go on, then.
What can you tell me about the recent burglaries?
I wish Cecilia had contacted you lot sooner. She's a damn fine woman. But sometimes I think she'd rather jump in a rose bush than ask for help. Had to take matters into my own hands. This needs taken care of, and we can't do it on our own, as much as Cecilia would like to. Anyhow, alls I know is someone's been making off with some flowers and leaving money behind. No idea who it could be, how they're getting in, or why they even bother paying. In my day, if you robbed a place, you did it the right way. It's a sad state of affairs when even burglars don't do their jobs correctly.
Do you have much experience with burglary, Mr. Hastings?
Now, I never said that, Detective.
Have you noticed anyone or anything suspicious around here recently?
Nothing but the usual roughnecks, ragamuffins, and drunkards. Like I said, it's a real mystery.
Could you walk me through the process of your deliveries?
Of course, there's no great science to it. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons, Cecilia gives me her list of flowers to pick up from the wholesalers. I head over to Gascon around sunset when they get their shipment, and I give them her order. They load up the crate, I pay for it, and then I lug it back here.
How long does that take?
Between moving the crate and getting it across the river on the ferry, a couple of hours. Usually the store's closed by then, so I use my key to get in and leave the crate inside for Cecilia to open in the morning. That's all there is to it. Told you it wasn't very complicated.
Do you ever leave the crate unattended during that time?
No, sir. Never more than a minute. I may be old, but I got good eyes. I'd see if there were anything amiss. Besides that, I check to make sure the crate is still sealed when I drop it off. I'm not about to let Cecilia down by being careless.
How long have you been working for Mrs. Hanbrook?
Been about 10 years now, I reckon. I used to help with deliveries now and then when it was her and David, her husband. But after he passed, she offered to make me her assistant. Unfortunate way to get it, but I needed the work. Used to be I had a job at one of the airship yards, but they let me go after I was injured by one of those newfangled steam machines. So the offer came at a good time. Besides that, Cecilia needed looking after, even though she'd never admit it. If I'm being honest, we're both getting a bit long in the tooth. Not sure how much longer we'll be keeping this up, but as long as I'm upright and breathing, I'll be bringing these crates along, even if it is murder on my back.
I admire your work ethic.
I've got a job to do. Not enough people these days seem to respect that.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Hastings. I'll let you get back to work.
Appreciate it, Detective. If you don't mind, Detective, I still need to check the crate before I bring it in.
Of course. Thank you again for your help.
Learn anything?
Possibly. I may have an idea.
Ah, you're being cryptic. That's always a good sign. But if you've got a plan, let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's check this casebook. What popped up into here? Ask Bill about surveillance. My experiment with the hook proves that it's possible to unlock. Yeah, we saw that. Points of entry. Still don't have any suspects.
Got a minute, Bill?
For you, Miles, I've got 5.
Oh, how nice. Ask him about
Right.
surveillance.
Based on what we've been told in our experiment, I can only conclude that our burglar is using the upstairs window to get into the shop.
So what do you propose we do about it?
It's happened repeatedly over the past 3 weeks, on one of the delivery nights. Since it has yet to occur this week, and today is Friday, logic dictates it should be tonight.
So we settle in and wait to see if the burglar returns? Catch him in the act?
Exactly. It's our best chance of solving this before the trail goes cold.
And I was really looking forward to getting that drink at the Angel tonight, too.
I know, but it's as you said yourself. There'll be plenty of other opportunities. Besides, forbearance is good for the soul.
Spoken like someone who truly has no idea how to have any fun.
I'm sure I'll get the hang of it one of these days, especially with your expert tutelage.
Okay, let's go have a chat with Mrs. Hambrook. I'm sure she'll be delighted to know we're spending the night.
Delighted, I'm sure.
Damn, I forgot to bring my deck of cards again.
At least it's quiet up here. I'm surprised we didn't go deaf after the last time we did this.
What?
I said... Oh, right. Your sense of humor remains on point.
Miles, have you ever considered leaving all this behind?
What, you mean quitting the force?
The Force, the city, going off and seeing what else is out there, you know?
I'd miss it too much. Wouldn't you?
I was thinking I might visit Harley out west. She makes it sound like a dream in her letters. Wide open spaces, fresh air. I know I'm a city boy and would probably miss New Britannia's filth and squalor after a week, but...
You should do it. A change of scenery never hurt anyone. Plus, it's much easier for you than it is for me. I've got a family to consider, after all.
Ah, right.
Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that, Bill. It's just...
Shh. I think I heard something.
There's somebody. Making in.
No!
Bill?
Oh, scared him off.
Police!
Damn it! He's got up the fire escape. We can corner him on the roof. Stay close and keep me covered.
Too close.
Bill!
Stay back, officer. Got a knife. Ready your pistol for him.
But you're too close!
I trust you, Miles. Your pistol, now!
There's really no need for this, officer. I respect your desire to uphold justice. Mine is more important. If you let me go, I won't come back. And we can all forget this ever happened.
Don't listen to this lunatic, Miles. Take your shot before things get worse.
No!
Shot.
Oh, shit. Did I shoot? Oh, no!
Oh, God! I am so sorry, my friend. I am so sorry.
That was stupid.
I think we failed. 3 months later.
What? Oh, he's okay. He's recovering.
Well, not only did I shoot him, he fell off the frickin'
Miles,
roof.
wake up! Your house is on fire!
Huh? What?
You see, I told you it was funnier when I did it to you.
Yes. Hilarious.
What's the matter? Have a rough night?
Is he a ghost?
Overdid it on the soporific. Why do I feel like I've had this conversation before?
The voices
I'm just
in
glad
his
you're in the
head.
mood to converse
You should
again.
understand that.
Seriously, you took so much of that snake oil last night, I was starting to think you wanted me quiet for good.
Need a break now.
It's no personal slight. I just need some quiet time, or I'll go insane.
I get it. We all need our space. I know it's not easy, but there's really no need.
Not easy. Bill, I've been hearing your voice since you died. You don't shut up unless I take that accursed medicine. I'd say that qualifies as a bit more than not easy.
Yeah, well, how do you think I feel? You think I enjoy being trapped here, listening to you whine about how hard your life's become? You at least still have yours.
So if I had chosen the other thing, I think the burglar would have stabbed him. He's gonna die anyway. Okay, so I feel better about that.
So why can't you just leave me alone?
Okay.
If you're just as miserable, why don't you just go away and leave me in peace?
Believe me, I wish I knew how. But the bottom fact is, you're stuck with me.
I see
So you
dead
can
people.
either keep living this way and ruin your life even more than
This
you already
is
have.
so great.
Or you can do as I've told you and try to figure out a way to let me move on.
To the light.
Well, there's light right there. Find the burglar. Okay, we got to find the burglar.
Right. For the 1000th time, you want me to find the burglar from the flower shop.
Yes, exactly.
I still don't get how that's going
See,
to help.
look, there's his
I can
hat up
understand your
there.
confusion, considering it was you who killed me. But the point remains. You wouldn't have been in that situation in the first place if not for him. Once the criminal has been caught and is in custody, we'll both get what we want.
Revenge, justice, there we go.
A decent night's sleep?
More than that, you'll have that elusive thing you always wanted to give others. Closure.
You do realize the trail's pretty much frozen at this point. Our man has seemingly vanished into the ether.
That's no excuse not to keep trying. I know the cases Upton's been giving you these past few months haven't been the most thrilling, but they've at least kept you active. So just keep at it. Something has to turn up eventually. Unless, of course, you want to wind up in Riverview Asylum. And if that happens, I'm really not going to keep quiet.
Fine.
Good man. Now, I suggest you stop talking to thin air, or Adelaide's going to start wondering if you've gone mental. Or just maybe she'll stop wondering.
Very funny.
There's
You should've
Bill's
let me be
hat.
buried wearing my hat. At least it wouldn't be gathering dust like it is now.
If I'd done that, it would be dust right now.
Heh, fair point. Wouldn't you say it's time for a change of clothes, Miles? You've been wearing that coat for who knows how long.
So? Addie gave it to me. Besides, it gives me character.
Right. Brooding detective in a long black coat. That's never been seen before.
What are you talking about, Bill?
Never mind. Pretty, but I'm glad I don't have a sense of smell anymore. Adelaide's last performance. She could really bring the house down. I always liked that self-portrait of Adelaide's mother, even if the eyes do always follow you around the room. That's a fun little apparatus Adelaide got you. Very soothing.
Watching it spin long enough puts me right to sleep.
I'd say that's really more the soporifics doing. Remember before you started taking that medicine and you could actually read a book for more than 10 minutes before falling asleep? You were a lot more fun to talk to back then. Don't worry, Miles. I don't watch when you and Adelaide are having your private time.
It would be nice if you didn't spend the whole time humming.
I thought you appreciated some romantic music. Miles, care to explain what you're doing?
Just checking to make sure everything that needs to be in here still is.
Right. If you start taking that stuff during the day, you're really going to have problems. Cozy little winter getaway. That would be a welcome change from the winters in this city. Ha, that poster brings back some memories. That's from around the time you two met, isn't it?
Yes, back when Addie was singing at the Angel.
It's admirable just how organized Adelaide is. Maybe someday the same can be said about you. Adelaide's mother certainly enjoyed pressing flowers. Do you suppose she does more of it now that she's retired? I'm certain a permanent indentation in the shape of your rear is starting to form on that thing. Yes, your soporific is still...
Okay, let's go out the door. There's nothing else to do.
Well,
Adelaide.
look who's awake. Ready to rejoin the living?
Very much so.
Oh,
You were talking in your sleep again.
Did I say anything interesting?
Do you ever?
You have to admit, she's got you there.
How are you feeling?
A touch groggy. I think I took a bit too much of the soporific last night.
That's what I thought. When you went for your after-lunch nap, you'd barely gotten breakfast down. I saved you some bread and cheese if you're hungry.
Thank you, but I haven't got much of an appetite.
You really should regulate your doses more carefully, love. I'm sure dull senses and an empty stomach aren't much help to your work. By the way, a message arrived via courier for you this morning. I put it on the table along with today's newspaper.
Thank you, dear.
If there isn't a pair of scissors or a hairbrush in Adelaide's hands, you can bet there'll be a book. It might do you some good to look in the mirror a bit more often, Miles. I always liked that painting. It's impossible to see that kind of scenery here in the city.
reminds me of Minecraft.
You remember how much time Adelaide had to spend convincing you to sit for this? At least these days, with ferrotype tech advancing the way it is, these portraits can be done in just a matter of minutes. Adelaide's father certainly had an amazing life. Imagine being the personal barber to the Prime Minister and his family. The gossip and secrets he must have heard. Ah, the Havisham case. Our first time out as partners. First in a long line of successful cases. It's nice to have a memory of the good old days.
Okay, let's see.
How are your parents doing these days? It's been ages since you wrote them.
Secretary?
Let's go in for all the pictures first.
I can see why Adelaide calls that plant Miles Jr. It's a spitting image. Didn't I give you two that clock as a wedding present? Too bad it stopped working.
Did it stop working when he died?
Your book collection has always astonished me. Heaven help you if you ever decide to move. Your book collection has always astonished me. Building those model ships was a good way to pass the time between cases. Hopefully it'll be a while before you get enough time to build another one. It's been so long since you used that desk. Did you even notice when Adelaide got rid of the chair?
Nope.
That makes me wonder what old Mrs. Handbrook is up to these days.
Yes, it is.
Bollingworth
Thank you,
Ale,
honey.
my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
And a nice souvenir from the Angel. You really ought to go back there someday. I'd love to see the look on Snelling's face if he ever found out you kept your old truncheon.
What's a truncheon? I don't know what that is. You looking it up for me, honey?
No, I'm just thinking about
Okay, we're going to look up this word and see exactly what it is. I would think maybe a billy club.
your next stick carried as a weapon of a police officer.
Yes, just like, okay. Short, weapon, stick, cop. Got it. Let's
I
read
knew
the
it, I just
newspaper.
didn't want to tell you before you said it. In
Thank you,
addition to-
Fab. It is a nightstick. That's a good way to say. Oh my God, this is so bright. Oh. This Tuesday marks the 3-month anniversary of the tragic crash of the HMS Lygia? Whatever, we saw the blimp, the dirigible. It was preparing to make its second transatlantic voyage. This is so hard to read this font. When disaster struck, the airship burst into flames. Hi, Fab. Shortly after departing for England, crashing into Foster Park, all 300 passengers on board, including His Royal Highness Prince Harold, were killed. Everybody follow Fab if you're not following. And oh yeah, and Julia.
Punching ghosts. Secret badass. Punching ghosts. Oh no. Yeah.
Look like they punch back. Okay, let's see. Oh, Prince Harold were killed, as were 54 bystanders in the park. Royal Maverick Lines conducted an investigation. Royal credited an accident, ignition from a gas leak, sabotage persist. Ooh, rumors of sabotage. Maybe we get to do that case. Royal Maverick vowed to instill stricter safety regulations. The HMS Lenore would be extremely safe upon its completion. The Grand Dame dies. Age 44. That's very young. She and her family moved to I can't remember how they said that. In 1804, she married Colonel Andrew Shepard, royal officer, 30 years her senior. The marriage lasted 1 year, ending in Shepard's death during a trip to Piedmont. Shortly after, Dupree married Benjamin Montgomery, a doctor. They had 2 children. Then he died of tuberculosis. 5 years later, Is this a Black Widow thing going on here, maybe? It's real and it's coming. I'm not even sure what this word is. Athericity? A substance said to possess energetic and restorative properties was first put forth 2 years ago. His presentation, divisive, exists small amounts on Earth, located celestial region. Electricity, but hundreds of times more powerful. This sounds like a shyster. Okay, crackpot. There we go. Excuse me, not a shyster, a crackpot. Second bizarre murder baffles police. Police investigating murder in the Chom, whatever they call that. Similar to one which occurred. Details confidential. Male gunshot wounds. Did he kill another person besides his partner? Serial killer. Snelling, finest detectives on the case. Not this one. Okay. Message. Woo. Okay. Florida, a big case has come in, which I think will interest you. Meet me at the Ruined Coffee House for more details.
Upton says she's got a big case for me.
Does she go into any more detail than that?
No, but then you know Upton. Always on a need-to-know basis. Especially since she's been giving me these cases under the table.
To be fair, they haven't exactly been anything of note.
True, but she's still sticking her neck out for me. I can understand why she's so secretive about it.
I think she just misses having you around the station.
Poor Connie. With you quitting and me dying, she must be bored stiff at work.
Anyway, I'm supposed to meet her at the Ruined Coffee House. That can't be right.
It's not like Constance to make mistakes. She must have gotten in somehow.
Guess I'll head over there and see what she's got then.
All right, let's go. Front door. Coffee house. Here we go.
Enjoy your reading. I'll be back soon.
I look forward to your return.
I do love her dress. Oh my. Yeah, just click it. Oh, thank goodness I didn't have to figure out how to get there.
Ah, the Ruined Coffee House. Worst Java in Lamplight City, but there's no better place to overhear all the rumors and gossip in town. Just make sure you don't get too close to the other patrons. Discretion was never your forte. Not much of a hurry to clean up in here, are they? Best avoid that one. He looks like he might tip over at any moment. Reminds me of when I was alive. Ah, good times. What a cheery reminder of everyone's impending death. That whole thing about the man in the black robe, complete lie, by the way.
Oh, he would know.
Nice seaside landscape. Definitely a stark contrast to the ambiance in here.
I do love this sarcasm in this.
Self-Portrait as a Desperate Man by B. Calvert. A bit like looking in the mirror, isn't it, Miles? Greens Sulfur Soap. Beautifies the complexion and leaves you smelling fresh as a daisy. Talk about false advertising. I couldn't get a date for a week after using that stuff. Professor Xander Colt Tit III's emulsified soporific, available at all discerning pharmacies. I really don't know why you think taking that rat piss every night is a good idea for them.
Oh, wow. Is this a different advertisement?
Simon
Oh,
Banks,
yes. We got to read them all.
Professional chimney sweep. Services start at $2 per hour. Inquire at 305 Merrick Lane. I'm sure he's a lovable urchin, but thankfully, your chimney is clean. P.D. Preston's patented papier-mâché perambucat. Handsomely upholstered in silk, satin, and velvet, and hand-painted in the most artistic manner, as shown in engraving. I suppose if you and Adelaide ever finally decide to have children, something like this will come in handy. Dr. Tennyson's Vigor Pills. Absolutely guaranteed to restore vitality, youth, and vigor, or your money back. For use by men only. These things seem to have had a spike in popularity recently. Dr. W.S. Sales Wonder Tonic. The best and safest medicine for both gentlemen and ladies. Prevents consumption, general weakness, feverishness, indigestion, constipation, diarrhea, loss of appetite, flatulence, and head pain. They should also mention that it prevents breathing, heartbeats, and being alive.
Very cute, very cute.
All that metal and tubing just to serve a hot cup of coffee? A young woman holding a guitar. Completely the wrong way, I might add. Asleep at a coffee house. One of life's little ironies.
That's true.
If this is how they store their coffee beans, it's probably a better idea to ask for tea.
Oh, gosh.
Give me an old-fashioned tea kettle any day. Seems like they have a little something for everyone in here. The Specialty House Brews. These are definitely not coffee. Judging by the sooty apron, this man is either a metal worker, a chimney sweep, or just really lazy when it comes to washing. Just one of many patrons contributing to the oppressive thug in here.
I figured that was Constance.
He and his friend are having quite the conversation. I bet it's really boring. She's running back and forth at lightning speed. Clearly, she dips into the coffee supply.
Anything else we can touch before we start talking to Constance? I think that would be the same thing.
He's missing his left arm below the elbow. How do you suppose that happened?
Okay, now we'll talk to Constance.
If
This
it isn't
is
my
a
old
hoot.
friend, up to no good.
Hello, Fordham. It's good to see you.
How did you get them to let you in here?
It's rather simple, really. The owner and I have an understanding. He pretends women are allowed in coffee houses, and I don't report his unsavory business practices to Chief Snelling.
Sounds like a good deal. What sort of unsavory business practices are we talking about?
Oh, we haven't got time to get into that now. But take some advice. Don't order anything that isn't water.
Wow. Okay.
Managed to sneak another case past Snelling, eh?
Yes, and if he finds out I did, it won't be pretty. This is a big one. We're not in Lost Cat territory anymore.
So stop teasing me and tell me what it is already.
Lost cat.
Do you know Madame Laura Dupre?
Black Widow. I know it is. Okay, yeah.
Laura Dupre. She's one of those Gascon Grand Dames, isn't she?
That's right. I'm surprised you've heard of her. I didn't think you cared about those types of people.
I don't, but Adelaide has several of them as clients. She gets paid to pretend to care about their lives, and I get to hear the sordid details.
Madame Dupre died the day before yesterday. Her funeral was held this morning.
My condolences.
But halfway through the service, the mourners heard a loud knocking coming from inside her coffin.
She wasn't dead?
Apparently not. Nearly interred
Wow.
alive, although her doctor swears she had no pulse.
Wow.
Dupree's son Andrew was quick to suspect foul play. He accused a man named Albert Martin, and the police arrested him.
So where do I come in? Sounds like the case has already been solved.
I strongly suspect that Martin is innocent, especially considering the talk of him having used black magic on Dupree. The police feel they have enough evidence to convict, so they're not bothering to investigate any further. You're going to look into it and see if I'm right, then find the person who was really behind this.
Why not just ask Madame Dupree herself?
She hasn't spoken since the ordeal. Apparently, she's been catatonic since they pulled her out of the coffin.
How unfortunate.
If you'd like to question Mr. Martin, he's being held at the Bow Street Jail. Or you could take a look around his house. It's at 451 Compton Street in Worcester.
Oh, let's
the
do
Dupree
that.
That's at Emmeline and Comtesse, right across from the old Angeline convent. It's also possible you might run into the police during your investigation, since they're technically still on the case.
Thanks for the warning.
Nice.
Was there anything you wanted to talk about before you get started?
Yes, actually. I had a couple of questions.
Let's hear them then.
How are things going with you?
Work is hectic as usual, and I'm spending my day off in here. But considering my home life is still a shambles, maybe this is the best place to be.
I'm truly sorry about that.
Don't be ridiculous. If it hadn't been for you, I'd still be chained to that philandering bastard. It hasn't been easy, but I'm much better off this way. Trust me. Anyway, work gives me something to focus on. I'm sure you can relate to that.
Yes, and I'm grateful to you for getting me these case leads. I know you're taking a risk to do it.
It's the least I can do. How about you? How's Adelaide?
She's fine, although things between us could be improved, if I'm being honest. The less said about it right now, the better, I think.
I'm sorry to hear that. You can talk to me about it if you need to, although I'm probably not the best person to ask for relationship advice.
Don't suppose there have been any developments regarding Bill's murder?
Unfortunately not. The department hasn't exactly been focusing on that case as a priority. The general attitude is that it was an accident. Bill died an honorable death in the line of duty.
Would have been nice if they bothered saying that at the funeral.
And of course, there are still those who blame you for his death, Snelling being the first and foremost.
But the man who really caused Bill's death is still out there.
Yes, I know, but it looks like you're on your own if you want to find him. My hands are tied. I can only ask around so much before the higher-ups get suspicious. Just don't give up. New Britannia may be a big city, but the criminal world is surprisingly close-knit. If you find any connections or leads during your other cases, be sure and let me know. I'll do the same if I find anything out.
See, she has a priority straight. You could learn a lot from up there.
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Okay, what have you got?
What do you know about Madame Dupree?
Only what I've read about her in the paper. She's been married thrice, which I can empathize with, and she's extremely rich, which I can't.
What makes you think this Martin fellow is innocent?
The fact that the only evidence is the word of Dupree's son. I've seen this sort of thing thousands of times, and I'm sure you did too. They're just looking for a scapegoat. You're the only person I know who can put it right.
Upton's intentions are noble, but she has to realize this is just a drop in the ocean.
That's enough about the case for now.
Okay,
That's it, I think.
then you'd better get back to it.
Well, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to help you find the flower shop burglar, but I suppose freeing an innocent man is a worthy diversion.
Okay. There's the Dupree Manor. Something was at Bow Street. I think that was the guy's house. This is the house I wanted to go to.
Ah, Compton Street. We're not too far from Restaurant Row. When's the last time you ate, anyway?
Please, let's not add eating to the list of things to nag me about.
I'm sorry, I have no time for visitors today.
I need to speak with you about Albert Martin.
Albert? Are you with the police?
No, I'm a private investigator.
Oh, I don't think you can help. I'm sorry.
Sorry to bother you. I'll be on my way.
Good day to you, sir.
What?
You again. I told you I have no time for visitors.
Sorry to bother you. I'll be on my way.
Good day to you, sir.
One of Atwood's re-election posters, sorely lacking a mustache. Go on, Miles. Fix this grievous injustice.
Not now, Bill. There are more important things to worry about.
Spoil sport. I'm glad that Coulson still uses horses. I don't trust the new self-driving cabs.
Self-driving.
I'm glad that Coulson still uses... Considering how many eating establishments are in this neighborhood, the butcher picked a fantastic spot to set up shop. I do notice a distinct lack of stray cats in this neighborhood, though. Bon Bon's restaurant. I never got a chance to go there, but I hear their deviled eggs are simply to die for.
Okay, that would be it. Who's Fordham? Oh, that's my house. Oh.
I've managed to survive the wild streets of New Britannia.
It's always nice to see you walk through that door. So what's this big case Upton's got you on? Another missing pet?
If only. A Gascon Grand Dame was attacked and almost interred alive.
You mean Madame Dupre? The one whose obituary was in the paper?
The very same.
Goodness, that does sound serious. Tell me if there's anything I can do to help. I know you haven't been feeling your best lately.
You're always a help to me, Addie. Though I assure you I have this well in hand.
I certainly hope so.
Well, she might know something.
Addie?
Yes, dear?
How's work going? You have any appointments today?
Yes, one this evening. It's been a bit slow lately, but pretty soon it'll be debutante ball season, and all the Gascon Grand Dames will need their hair done. You sure I can't convince you to let me give you a little trim? You've been looking awfully scruffy lately.
What's the point? I've got no need to go peacocking around town. You're the only girl for me.
I like it when you're clean cut. It brings out your eyes.
The way my eyes have been looking lately, I think it's best to keep them hidden. How are you? It feels as though we haven't seen much of each other these past few days.
I've been fine.
Addie, you're not a very good liar. What's on your mind?
I'm worried about you, Miles.
I know, but I've told you there's no need to worry about me. I'm all right.
You're not all right, Miles.
Typical man.
I may not be a good liar, but you can't fool me either.
I am all right. What do I have to do to convince you of that?
You could start by throwing out that sleeping medicine. It's turned you into a different person.
I need it to sleep, Addie. I'll become an even worse person without it, believe me.
I know Bill's death was hard for you. It was hard for all of us. But whatever it is that's bothering you, you know you can talk to me about it. That's what I'm here for.
I know, my love. Your support means the world to me. I need some time to deal with things. That's all. It won't always be like this, I promise.
Making promises you can't keep, eh, Miles? That'll end well.
I've still got that song you sang last week at the Rutherford stuck in my head. You were amazing.
Thank you, Miles. That was a lovely evening. I always enjoy it when Joseph brings out his violin and we can relive the old days.
Certainly nicer than when he spends hours telling the exact same story whenever you visit.
They were very glad to see you, you know.
It's probably the most fun I've had in months, to be honest.
They've invited us for dinner again in a couple of weeks, if you're feeling up to it.
I hope I am. What's that you're reading?
It's a collection of short stories by James Penstroke. It was just published earlier this month.
Any good?
Oh yes, I love his work. He's been publishing a new serial in Brentwell magazine. I can't wait to read it. Perhaps we both can together? I think you'd enjoy him.
Lately, I haven't been able to concentrate on a page for more than 5 minutes without nodding off.
That is a pity.
Do you know anything about Madame Dupre?
I've read that the Dupreys are one of the few wealthy families that exclusively employ real people to serve. Rather commendable, don't you think?
Yes. It makes it even more baffling why she was attacked. Have you heard any gossip from your clients? Anything about who might have wanted to harm her?
Nothing. She's held in the highest regard by the other Grand Dames. If she had actually died, I'd have expected them to petition her canonization.
I'll let you get back to your book.
What did that mean, employ real people? Albert Martin really do what he's accused of doing? Was it someone else? Okay, so I have to go to the... And I have to question him in jail, okay. No clues, no suspects. Okay, so let's go.
I'll see you later, Addie.
I wish you'd let me fix your hair before you go out like that.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
You are aware this is private property, sir?
Yes, I'm Miles Fordham, private investigator. I'm looking into the incident involving Madame Dupre. I assume this is she?
You assume correctly, Mr. Fordham. My apologies, but I thought the police had already made an arrest.
That's right, but there's still some doubt as to the man's guilt. May I ask your name, sir?
I am Dr. Fellows, Madame Dupre's private physician. I'm afraid she is in no state to be answering questions at present.
Are any other members of the family home?
Her son, Mr. Montgomery, is in the entrance hall. I had to give him a mild sedative to settle his nerves, but he should be all right to converse.
Then if you don't mind, I'll have a look around.
This fountain probably looked nicer when it was working, but right now it's just a breeding ground for mosquitoes. With her vast sums of wealth, Madame Dupre could probably feed a starving family for the next 30 years. Instead, she uses the money to keep her hedges trimmed.
Well, no one wants messy hedges.
With her vast sums of wealth, Madame Dupre could probably... Instead... Her eyes are glazed over, and she's got a vacant, expressionless stare. She seems completely oblivious to her surroundings. If we didn't know she'd been buried alive, I'd say she was just exhibiting the typical symptoms of your average rich person.
Wow.
Oh, hello. Are you the new servant?
No, I'm Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator looking into your mother's attempted murder.
How did you know I was her son? Oh, of course. You must have sensed it with your detective's intuition. I should have guessed by that giant head of yours.
Are you feeling all right, Mr. Montgomery?
Yes, I'm fine. Much better than when those pesky police officers were snooping around earlier. But I like you, Mr. Fordham. I can already tell you're not like them at all. Please, call me Andrew.
Yes, well, I'll have a look around, and I may need to ask you some questions. Do you think you can handle that?
I can. In fact, I really look forward to it.
If the good doctor gave him a mild sedative, I'd hate to see what the stuff you take would have done to him. What a beautiful parrot. Must have cost the Dupre's a cool copper. Do you suppose that's for the bird? Or perhaps so the Dupre family members can get a good look at themselves on the way out of the house? Dupre looks like she's holding on to that poor bastard for dear life.
We can talk to the parrot. Wow, this should be good.
Who's a pretty bird?
Ray's a pretty bird.
Who's Ray?
Polly want a cracker?
No, thank you.
Pieces of 8?
Hi, matey.
Who's a pretty bird?
Ray's a pretty bird.
Well, who's Ray?
So long, Birdie.
Bye-bye.
can go upstairs and I can go to the kitchen. Let's go to the kitchen first.
Certainly no shortage of bowls or food preparation items around here. Yeah, it looks like gumbo's on the menu tonight. I wonder how it compares with Upton's special recipe. Looks like the type of spices you'd use in a stew. Most likely paprika or turmeric. Nice variety of reds and oranges. Judging by the amount of food this family probably eats, washing the dishes must take forever. It's times like these make me wish I could still eat.
Pardon me, miss.
What? Who are you?
I'm Miles Fordham. I'm investigating the attempted murder of Madame Dupre.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but I'm very busy. I can't help you.
Do you know anything about what happened to Madame Dupre?
No, I don't. Please leave me to my work. I shouldn't be talking to you.
All right, I'm going.
Some kind of water dispensing device, maybe? I was never very good at finding my way around the kitchen.
All right, let's try upstairs.
A horrible little porcelain figurine. Madame Dupre didn't strike me as the type to play with dolls. Goodness, someone went overboard with the flowers. This brings back some memories, doesn't it?
Ones I'd rather forget.
I don't know much about art, but I see Madame Dupre and I at least have similar tastes.
Oh my goodness. Oh. Up. It's hard to play the piano with a mouse.
Oh, look! It's one of those new audio cylindergraphs. I can't quite wrap my head around how they can manage to get sound out of a wax cylinder. Why would anyone need so many flowers in one room?
Perhaps it's to mask the odors of those chemicals on the workstation.
Could be.
Oh.
The science of pharmacology. I'm sure it's riveting stuff. It looks as though this folded piece of paper is being used as a bookmark.
Can we not open this up?
The science of pharmacology.
These should be useful.
Oh. Did he just steal something?
Dr. Tennyson's Vigor Pills. These would make a sloth act like a hummingbird. A gentle reminder that everyone's time is slowly running out. Decadent. Is this really the best that medical science has to offer? What in the ether is that thing supposed to be? Actually, I'd rather not know. I can only wonder what sort of potions Andrew concocts in this thing. Decadent.
Okay, I think I've... Interesting.
Yeah, it must be a nice place to sit and listen to music.
Let's try the other. If there's tweezers are mine now. Why would I steal the tweezers? I don't understand. Why am I stealing tweezers?
Nice bouquet of roses. Although it would make things much easier if they were Easter lilies.
If only.
Ah, the Gascon docks. The artist definitely took some liberties. You can't see a single person getting stabbed. Must be nice being able to afford keeping your oil lamps lit during the daytime.
Must be. Okay, we'll try this room. Oh, wow.
Whoever lives in this room really likes plants and flowers, don't they? Nice little cottage. Looks like it would make a nice cozy spot to retire. If I hadn't already retired from life, that is. I've never seen so many beauty products together in one place. Doesn't look like they get used much, though.
Oh, thank you. The junior bringer has brought me a glass of wine.
Oh, heck no.
You don't like that? I can pick the lock with the tweezers.
I suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
No, you can't.
Locked. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Let's have a look through these
Especially since you
papers.
checked twice.
Aha. What's this?
Hmm. Dear Miss Montgomery, unfortunately, I've been informed of a series of burglaries in the neighborhood near the room you're renting from me at 76 Forest Lane. As a precaution, I've gone ahead and changed the locks. Please find the enclosed copy of your new key. I hope this doesn't cause you too much of an inconvenience. Yours, Edwina Cressfell.
Interesting. This Miss Montgomery must be Andrew's sister. But why is she renting a room in the Chum? Guess there's really only one way to find out. Well, someone's fancy. I never liked these types of beds much. They feel too claustrophobic.
I always thought they had a certain appeal myself.
Yes, you would think that about a bed that lets you shut out the rest of the world.
Try it.
Now try the chest again?
Yeah, who knows? You got a new key?
That was to a room.
Locked. I suppose I shouldn't be
Whatever,
surprised.
man.
Especially since now that's the third time you checked. You should not be surprised.
She told me to try.
You listen.
If she told you to jump off a bridge, would you?
Tell her every day. You haven't done it yet.
Wasn't it nicer without these two invading?
Look at the music on the wall. That looks important.
I need to play that on the piano.
It would appear that Madame Dupre was
I
taking
did
music
that.
lessons.
Her current predicament has probably put an end to that venture, though.
I messed up the arpeggio, though.
What is that?
The C scale.
The what?
The C scale.
Oh, I thought it said
It's called cursive. If
It
you had
looks
paid
like
more
an
attention,
of.
if you had paid more attention to your
It
studies.
looks like of.
A much younger Madame Dupre. I suppose that's a nice alternative to a mirror.
Oh, is it Eliza? Hello.
That's an old uniform, from the turn of the century by the look of it. This must be Madame Dupre's first husband. Kinda strange that she'd still keep his portrait in the bedroom.
What?
Over there on the other side, on the right side.
No, that's totally different. This is the chat.
Oh.
That's from yesterday.
Oh.
Now I missed that.
That's
what?
an old uniform.
Sorry, guys.
From the turn of the century by the look of it. This must be Madame Dupre's first husband. Kinda strange that she'd still keep his portrait in the bedroom.
Is that the bedroom?
Ooh, a fainting couch. You know, I always wanted one of these, but I never fainted enough to justify buying
I
one.
never fainted enough. That looks like a door.
Ooh.
Number. Wouldn't it be 1680?
Choice and consequence. Who in their right mind would write a book about that? I don't even want to know what that one's about.
Mesmerism? Okay. Buffalo Skinner. Oh
I
my
read that one
God.
last year. If you ever wanted to know the intimate details of a buffalo's anatomy,
All right, now
I
can I
highly
say my
recommend
thing?
it.
Yes.
Wouldn't these things be 1680 to 1760, and the next one be 1761 to 1810?
Yes.
hell is wrong with these people?
I'm sure Sarcastic Man will have something to say about it. The Parson of Crook Hall.
One of those melodramatic romances. I read it a while back, and I couldn't tell you a thing about it. Now that one sounds interesting. I was always a fan of Bedletter's short stories.
That's what the wife is reading.
It's Bedletter.
And I believe wasn't the wife reading that?
So the book's right in the middle with numbers and stuff.
Doesn't appear to
The
be very brief if
mysterious
there's 2
books
volumes of it.
are the
I wonder if
last
anyone
ones
outside
you
the
go
family
into.
would find this even remotely interesting.
Brief history? Those
Doesn't
are
appear to
big
be very
old
brief if
briefs.
there's 2 volumes of it. I wonder if anyone outside the family would find this even remotely interesting.
Wow. It's like the whole peanut gallery's in here with me.
Yeah, we are.
Let's see if there's anything in these drawers. Damn, nothing but personal effects and more stationery.
Don't forget the first rule of detective work. If there's nothing useful inside, check underneath and between.
Ah, yes, of course. Thanks for the reminder.
Who are you talking to?
Uh-huh, now this is intriguing.
Voices in your head?
Yeah, kinda. I'm not going to warn you again, you disgusting, oh my, thug. Stay away from my daughter and my house or I'll kill you myself.
Something.
Okay.
You've got some huge bags under your eyes, Miles. Reminds me of the case we had on that strange train.
That's strange.
Ugh, don't remind me.
Okay, I have to update my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I was a cop. Me and my partner were investigating some burglaries at a flower shop. The old lady was like, I didn't even report these burglaries, and they left the money anyway. They took the flowers, they left money on the counter.
Then why?
Then they figured out, they cracked the case, they figured out they were hiding behind some crates, waiting for the guy to sneak in again, and then the one cop sneezed because of his allergies, scared the thief. He ran onto the roof, they chased him onto the roof. Your partner, Bill, was being held with a knife to him, and he's shoot him. So I pulled out a gun and shot, and instead I shot Bill, my partner.
Oh, no.
And it hit her partner and knocked him right off the building and killed him.
Right. I mean, he got shot and fell off the roof.
Dang.
So now he is a ghost, and he won't leave you alone. And so he's like, maybe we can be in peace if you'll solve find the guy.
Bigger picture.
I
I thought this was kind of like a Quantum Leap situation, like he was Sam or something.
No.
Seems Madame Dupre fancies herself a poet.
Fancies herself a poet.
Oh, God. To dream, oh Morpheus, caress my cheek, bring forth those soothing visions, give me strength when I'm weak. Allow me some provisions. In your domain, I am as a queen, controlling all I see and hear. I've traveled places I've never been, and know not the meaning of fear. Laura Dupree. The dove. The dove is pure, serene, and pale, a glowing angel in the sparkling sky. Its gentle coos, unlike the wail of the cursed crow that will not die. Yeah, the crows are asked. Oh, yeah.
I love them.
Protect the dove from grim defeat. Let it remain in gentle flight. For when the crows allowed to eat, it covers the world in eternal night. Laura Dupree. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the crow. Raven, maybe, not the crow.
Bring you presents. Crows are extremely intelligent. Do you know what they call a group of crows?
A murder.
A murder.
Last night somebody was talking about Alfred Hitchcock movie The Birds. Remember that? You like crows now?
I don't remember crows in that movie. I think I've blocked them out. I don't like seagulls though.
You don't like the birds. Okay. Sometimes, how do I get out of this?
Well, that was life-changing.
Are you humming the song?
For once in my life, I'm completely speechless.
Then perhaps I should take this with me and read it more often.
So she obviously
Nah.
wrote that note, it's the same handwriting. About staying away from her daughter.
Ooh, I got an achievement.
Dun, dun, dun.
I will say this.
Don't quit your day job was your achievement.
Is that what?
Yeah.
I love it.
Damn it, I had a thought. And now the thought went away.
Did you check out that picture? Is that Miss Dupree?
First one this year.
Yes.
We lost it.
I saw you check out the Mister's portrait, but didn't you look at?
I did. He said it's like looking in a mirror.
Okay.
Oh, what I was going to say was, back then, everybody's handwriting was practically identical.
But
We'll look at it again.
This game was not made back then.
Nothing else of interest in there. Nothing else of interest in there.
You probably don't get to look at it again. That was it. That's all you do.
Okay.
Well, if it was significant, the casebook would have something.
What I'm looking for. I still have to go talk to drunk guy downstairs. Oh, tweezers. A useful tool for reaching things too small for human hands to reach. Or for plucking those pesky long eyebrow hairs.
Amen. That's the only clue? That's the clue?
Not going to warn you again. You disgusting mulatto thug. Stay away from my daughter and my house or I'll kill you myself. And it's not going to show me. Then there's her note.
Who's
the
up?
landlady's note. That is, she's helping me get the cases. She's a friend. Okay.
Or is she? Dun, dun, dun.
I would say yes.
All right, what's up with that lamp? Oh, it's a gas lamp. Okay, no. Check that drawer. Nope, okay. Oh.
Nice bouquet of roses. Although it would make things much easier if they were Easter
Oh, there's
lilies.
a picture above.
If only.
I already looked at that.
The Gascon docks. The artist definitely took some liberties. You can't see a single person getting stabbed.
You can't even hear it.
No, I can't.
You're missing the ghost is sarcastic as hell.
I
It's
can
great.
read.
Did it say something there?
Yes.
Okay.
I have some questions for you.
Oh, goody.
This guy seems like a real...
He's had a mild tranquilizer.
How do you typically spend your days, Mr. Montgomery? What are your interests?
Oh, a little of this and a little of that. Nothing as exciting as what you do, I'm sure. Ooh, tell me, do most bad people start crying when you catch them? I'll bet it's a laugh riot to see them sobbing away.
No, Mr.
Throw the,
Montgomery, most of them don't.
Well, that's a real shame, isn't it?
No, just put it's Bluetooth headphones. Stick it on so you can hear the inflection. It's great.
Can I hear it from your computer?
That's a rather exotic bird you've got.
I like looking at him. He has such pretty colors, doesn't he?
That he does.
You know, I've always wondered what he might taste like.
Oh my God.
Is that bad, do you think?
I really couldn't say, Mr. Montgomery. I found a letter upstairs addressed to a Miss Montgomery. Who is that?
You were snooping around up there? Naughty, naughty, Mr. Fordham.
It's part of my job. Now, are you going to tell me or not?
Nope. I don't think I will. You're the detective. I'll let you solve that mystery yourself.
I think this mystery could be best solved with a punch in the nose. God, I wish I still had fists.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
She came back from the dead. I couldn't believe it. My mother, resurrected, just like Jesus.
Yes. I heard you're the one who accused Mr. Martin of the crime.
Oh, no, I already talked to the police about that. I don't want to think about it right now.
Thanks for your time.
No, thank you for yours.
So,
This is ridiculous.
I
He
don't
won't be of
have
any
to-
use in
I
this
don't have to
state.
hear the
If it takes him as long to
to know
snap
that
out of
this
it as it
guy's a
takes
little
you, we'll be waiting
fancy.
around here until noontime
All
tomorrow.
right,
There has to
all
be a way to
right.
bring him back to his
Thank
senses.
you.
Maybe that quack outside knows something of use.
But that bird can talk, and that he knows something. Can you question the bird?
I've already talked to the bird. I'm not doing it again. You should have been here when I started stream, okay?
Oh yeah, I was trying to earn some money.
Well, whatever.
Did she talk to the bud?
I tried.
Doctor, may I ask you a few questions?
Please be my guest.
Tell me about Madame Dupre.
She is a great woman and a pillar of the community.
You're really
I cannot
cracking up.
imagine why something like this could happen to her, or how someone could be capable of such a barbaric feat. Though this ordeal has been terrible, I am confident she will overcome. The power of her physical constitution is surpassed only by her strength of character.
You think he'd say the same things if he wasn't on her payroll? I highly doubt it.
Ha ha!
Right? Yeah, what's up with her?
What were the circumstances surrounding Madame Dupre's supposed death?
Her son, Andrew, sent for me a few days ago after finding her unconscious and unresponsive. As I was unable to detect a pulse or breath, I had no other recourse but to declare her deceased. I judged that Madame Dupre had likely suffered a sudden cardiac arrest. It was most shocking to be proven wrong at a funeral.
I can imagine. Where was the funeral held, by the way?
St. Denis Cemetery. Madame Dupre wished to be interred in the tomb of her father's family, name of Chesterton.
Perhaps I'll go have a look. How long have you been Madame Dupre's private physician?
5 years, and I've been practicing medicine for the past 30. I still spend a couple of days a week treating patients at Riverview Asylum.
Oh, good. Maybe if you're lucky, he could be your doctor someday.
30 years is quite a long time. You must have seen some incredible advances in the field of medicine.
I have, yes. I can only wonder how things will change with all this talk of ethericity. There's speculation it can be used to restore necrotic tissue and instantly heal broken bones, among other things. If you ask me, a good bloodletting will never go out of fashion.
Ha ha!
May I ask exactly what kind of sedative you gave Andrew?
A simple tincture of laudanum. It's what I give all my nervous patients.
He seems a bit out of sorts.
Hot? Meat kettle.
It can have that effect, but it usually wears off in half a day or so.
Is there a way to bring him out of his condition sooner?
A stimulant would have the opposite effect, but I wouldn't recommend mixing the two. It could have potentially harmful effects on his heart.
Oh, could it?
Oh, of course. I wasn't planning on doing anything of the sort. I was just curious.
It's cute how you act like you have no experience in these matters. It's almost convincing.
So, could that have been what happened to...
Did you examine Madame Dupre after she reanimated?
Of course. Physically, she appeared to be in fine health aside from minor dehydration. I found no marks or bruising on her body. Mentally is a different story, however. She's remained in an unresponsive state ever since.
Do you have any opinions on what caused Madame Dupre to appear dead?
The most likely cause I can imagine is some sort of poison or toxin.
They're thinking black magic.
Of course they are.
What leads you to believe Madame Dupre was poisoned?
The symptoms she experienced were consistent with prior cases of poisoning I've studied. And didn't the young man arrested have ties to some kind of black magic cult? There have been reported cases of these practitioners using poisons to make people appear dead, then commanding them to do their bidding. I recall reading about a man in the West Indies who was given tetrodotoxin, that's the toxic secretion from a pufferfish, declared dead and buried. He appeared alive in his village some 20 years later.
Doesn't that seem a bit far-fetched to you, Doctor?
Not far-fetched.
Facts are facts, Mr. Fordham. Surely someone in your line of work can appreciate that.
Right.
Those are all the
I
questions
read
I've
this
got for
in
now.
National Geographic.
I hope I answered
or
them
something like
adequately.
that. I'm sure.
You read it on the internet, and they can't put anything on the internet that isn't true. I'm sure you already have.
She's in a catatonic state. You
So
can't.
what? Maybe she'll see your beautiful eyes.
Her eyes are glazed over, and she's got a vacant, expressionless stare. She seems completely oblivious to her surroundings. If we didn't know she'd been buried alive, I'd say she was just exhibiting the typical symptoms of your average rich person.
I'm telling you, you should put the headphones on. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Funny, funny, funny. Oh my, what do we have here? Okay. That's the slums. The chum. And a miss somebody's renting the room. That's what that was held. I need to talk to this guy though. Yeah, in the jail. I love how they spelled jail.
Fordham? Is that you? You look like something a cat spat up.
Hello,
Oh, yeah?
Giles. It's lovely to see you too.
You look like a bucket of sh.
What brings you round the jail? I thought you'd quit being a detective.
I'm looking to speak with Mr. Albert Martin.
Oh, I see. Well, that's him in the first cell there. I'd say what needs saying as quick as you can, though. He's headed for the gallows in the morning.
What? Already? But what about a trial?
No trial necessary when there's black magic involved. This little half-breed's already sealed his fate.
Such a charming fellow, isn't he? He's watching you like a hawk. Looks
Right.
liable to toss you in one of his cells if you try any funny business. Not much in the way of comfort. No bed or even a bucket. It's a good thing this place is meant for short stays.
Mr. Martin?
Who are you? My lawyer?
No, I'm actually here to help you. The name's Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator.
That was funny.
How are you going to help me?
I'm looking into the attack on Madame Dupre. I believe you're innocent.
Oh, thank heaven. That's music to my ears.
Would you mind answering a few questions for me?
Friend, if it means saving me from the noose, I'll tell you nothing less than God's truth.
Interesting choice of phrase for someone accused of using black magic.
Wait. Question.
What's your question?
Why? Is there any other reason that this guy is of color?
Probably.
If he
Probably
was
has
any
something to
other
do with.
color,
Well,
would it be still black magic?
yes, it would still be black magic, but most of this, the voodoo stuff came from Haiti.
Okay, that makes sense.
So that's.
Where approximately is this town? Is this like a New Orleans feel?
So this is London.
This is in London. Okay.
Yeah, Londonish. Yeah. Okay.
All right, that makes sense. I got it.
Okay.
How did you end up in here?
I was just minding my own business at home when the police showed up with no warning. They made some outrageous claims about me putting some sort of curse on Madame Dupre. The next thing I knew, I was here. Oh, Mama must be beside herself with worry. I just hope she's all right.
What does your mother do, Mr. Martin?
She helps people.
I was hoping you'd be just a bit more specific.
She provides spiritual help to those who seek guidance.
She's a spiritualist.
Not quite. She's more like... how can I explain it? You know how a priest holds mass to spread the word of God to the people? My mother holds services and calls on the spirits to walk among us, providing healing and guidance.
So she's a religious leader?
If you want to give her that title, it would be the most appropriate.
And does this religion of yours have a name?
You'd probably know it as voodoo, but it doesn't mean what you think it does. People are so quick to judge and portray us as evil when they have no idea.
So you practice voodoo, do you?
Are you making fun of me, Mr. Fordham?
No, of course not. Apologies if it seemed as though I was. It's just that the police are convinced that black magic was involved in Madame Dupre's apparent death.
That's because that idiot son of hers knew about my mother, and like all bigoted fools, assumed that we're involved in devil worship and the black arts. But I can assure you that this is most certainly not the case, Mr. Fordham.
Of course, I didn't mean to imply.
Just forget it.
Yeah, that's going to help get you off.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
What's to tell? She's a twisted, evil woman who got what was coming to her. Whoever attacked her deserves some sort of reward for the service they're doing the community.
Damn!
So it wasn't you then?
No, I'm innocent, Mr. Fordham. You have to believe me.
I'm afraid you're not making that very easy right now, Mr. Martin.
That is so not what everybody else says about the woman. Wow.
Do you know anything about the circumstances of Madame Dupre's supposed death?
No, I had nothing to do with it.
Then why did her son accuse you?
Probably because he's just as ignorant as she is.
What I meant was, how did her son know to accuse you? Have you had any contact with the family before?
Yes,
Ooh,
you
they were
could
lovers.
say that.
Uh-oh. That gleam in his eye says it all.
You see, I'm
Yeah,
involved
with
with
the
Dupre's
daughter.
daughter,
Okay.
Juliet Montgomery. Dupre doesn't like that one bit. She even threatened me once.
Okay, you were right. It was her handwriting.
Yes. She might have everyone else fooled, but that woman is the devil incarnate. I can't understand how something so heartless and cruel could have spawned someone as pure and loving as my dear Juliet.
He's not really helping his case much, is he?
No, he is not.
Tell me about Juliet.
She's wonderful. Such a beautiful, kind soul. She hasn't come to see me yet, but I'm sure that's because of all the confusion in the last few days. Juliet wouldn't believe for a second that I would be capable of harming her mother. I'm sure of it.
How did you two get involved?
We met at the university.
Your classmates?
Hardly. They wouldn't allow someone like me to enroll there. Juliet studies botany. I work as an assistant in the greenhouse.
Oh,
we started talking, and
yeah.
Oh, she actually treated me like a person. To everyone else, I was just the boy who fetched the test tubes. But Juliet actually wanted to hear what I had to say. Had the same taste in books and art. Didn't just treat me like some piece of gardening equipment. She even shared some of her notes with me after I told her I was interested in botany as well. From there, things just got better. I don't expect you to understand or approve, but that's how it happened.
Oh, you'd be surprised. It doesn't sound too different to how my wife and I got together. Except I was a detective and she was a singer at a bar.
And she's...
Yes, Mr. Martin. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. How often is Juliet in the greenhouse?
Every weekday, but I doubt she's there now. She's probably trying to find out where I am and working to have me released.
Somehow, I wouldn't bet on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on that either.
All right.
That's all for now.
Oh, wait.
I want to make a...
Before you go,
what do you call it?
would you do me a favor? Would you go see my mother at our house and give her a message?
You're at 451 Compton Street, right?
Yes, that's right. Could you tell her I said St. Rock's dog is barking?
I suppose I could do that, yes.
Oh, thank you.
Whatever happened to a simple I love you?
Okay.
Okay.
What else do you know about the daughter? Have you met her?
No, in that room we found that letter where locks had been changed and there was a key.
Okay.
And he was wondering why was this rich daughter renting a room in the Chum?
To be with this guy.
Right, we know that now.
Okay, so we got that. She's studying botany. The doctor was talking about the tranquilizer, or the sedative. Give her a sedative. The sedative and the stimulant causing a similar effect, right?
Right, I'm sure the daughter would have studied enough to know how to make her mother appear dead.
To appear dead,
So
or
that she could be with the man she loves.
to give her to make it look like she had a sudden. I hate that he said a sudden cardiac arrest. It's not that. It's not
But we also need to know who Ray is, because the bird, he said, "Who's a pretty bird?" And the parrot said, "Ray is," or something.
Well, maybe the bird's name is Ray. Ray's a pretty bird.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so anyway, the daughter did it because she wanted to be with her Romeo here, and I don't care what his name is. It's Romeo now. She wanted to be with Romeo, but she couldn't bring herself to kill her mother. So she gave her mother this stuff to make it look like she was dead, and then there would be a funeral. It would be quote-unquote natural causes. Inheritance would go to her and her brother, as it were. And then she could be with her Romeo
And she began
here.
pounding on the coffin during the wake.
She didn't give her enough. She needed to finish that degree. That's why she's still...
Why am I terrified right now that apparently my daughter knows how a daughter can kill her mother?
No. Did you not get to say the daughter did not? She couldn't bring herself to kill her mother. Good Lord, I couldn't kill you. You're protected
She
by
was
all
just
sorts
gonna
of
have
black
her
magic.
She was gonna have her buried alive.
You know,
oh, but that's not Okay.
I've watched enough crime dramas, okay?
Oh gosh, you and your crime dramas. Okay, let's see. There's the university where they went. This is getting a lot of stuff going on. Let's go back to the mother's house. This is my house. I met my friend at the coffee shop. The funeral was here.
Have you gone there?
The young woman, the daughter's here.
She is
This
there?
is the jail. That's the apartment she's renting.
Mm-hmm.
They went to university together, but this is where the mother is. I have to go give that message.
Okay.
I have to keep all this straight.
You again. I told you I have no time for visitors.
Albert gave a message. Good for you.
You're Albert Martin's mother, aren't you?
Who are you?
Miles Fordham. I spoke with Albert, and he told me to give you a message. He said to tell you that St. Rock's dog is barking.
Oh, I see. That's good. That's very good. You better come in, Mr. Fordham. Standing on the street just won't do.
Oh, nice.
Welcome to my home, Mr. Fordham. I am Sabine Martin. I hope you understand that Albert has nothing to do with this awful business. Would you care for some tea?
Well, her tune certainly changed when you gave her that message. I wonder what it meant.
No, thank you, ma'am. I won't be staying long.
A rather unremarkable book collection, I'm sorry to say. That statue, on the other hand, gives me the willies. The Virgin Mary. I must admit, she was the last person I was expecting to see in here.
Sacred Heart, too. Okay.
For all we know, that rider is some sort of demon.
Oh
He looks
my
like he's
God.
having a
It's
good
one of the
time, at
4
least.
horsemen.
That pattern resembles a flower. Too bad it isn't an Easter lily.
What's up with the Easter lilies? Is that his wife's
Easter
favorite?
lilies are what was stolen from the flower shop in the very first case when it started.
It's some old man with a dog standing at the center of a crossroads. If that's meant to have any sort of significance, it's completely lost on me. Interesting. Those pots look as though they've been wrapped in tobacco leaves.
Ew. There's probably entrails in there.
What?
Yeah.
I'm
chickens and
afraid that
stuff.
room is private, Mr. Fordham. I must respectfully ask you to
Didn't
not
even
go in
turn
there.
to you. This is like,
Of course.
This is like the
My
Oracle
apologies.
from the Matrix. Got some cookies or something?
Now we're gonna talk.
I've got a few questions for you, Mrs. Martin.
I'll try to answer them the best I can.
Gorgeous.
What exactly is it you do, Mrs. Martin?
I provide services to the public.
A delightfully vague answer if there ever was one. Give me something a bit more specific, please.
I'm a Mambo Asugwe. That means I'm what you call a voodoo queen. I'd give you a detailed explanation of the responsibilities and duties of the role, but your time would be better spent clearing my son's name.
Oh, look, we can buy viewers.
Oh, how do I stop that? Can I do that?
No. Dad can do it when he gets back. It's no big deal. Let's see.
Do you think your son is capable of doing what he stands accused of?
Never. Albert wouldn't harm a fly.
That's what the mothers always say.
Why don't you tell me a bit more about him then?
He started working at the university laboratory a few years ago. I was so proud of him. The university is quite selective, you know. The same for its staff as well as its students.
Yes, I've gotten that impression.
I always told Albert to be careful around those high society types, but that one always thinks with his heart first.
Is she sure that's the correct body part?
He's all the family I have, Mr. Fordham.
Well, that didn't know.
What do you know about Juliet, Madame Dupre's daughter?
I know Albert was smitten with her, no matter that I told him to be very careful around her kind. Those rich Creole families don't care much for people like us. To them, we're just a help. But from his telling, Juliet sounded to be a decent soul. It's a shame the same can't be said for her kin.
Do you know anything about Madame Laura Dupre?
I never met her in person, but I know plenty about her.
Like what?
Nothing fit for polite conversation, Mr. Fordham.
Wow.
But I can tell you this. Laura Dupre has far more enemies than she lets on.
Does that include you or your son?
It most certainly does not.
If you'll indulge my curiosity, what exactly was the meaning of Albert's
Good
message?
to talk to.
Saint Rock is the patron saint of dogs, as well as the falsely accused. If he sent the message along with you, it means he trusts you, and that I should too.
I'm smart.
Oh, I see.
Perhaps you were hoping for something more? That's just the way of mysteries, isn't it?
How do you mean?
The thrill of the unknown is always more exciting than the truth. Mystery makes life a little more interesting.
True, but if mysteries were really better unsolved, I wouldn't have a job. Can you tell me a bit more about your religious practices?
What I can tell you is that the ignorant whites in this city are afraid of us for no reason. Voodoo is not about black magic or dark spells or turning people into the living dead. It's about healing and life. Naturally, there are misguided souls who may try to use it for ill purposes, but I am not one of those.
Sounds like you hit a sore spot. Might be a good idea to stop pressing her on this angle.
I think I'll take you up on your offer for tea, after all.
All right, Mr. Fordham. You'll have to give me a few minutes to heat up the kettle. I'll be back shortly.
Do it.
Amazing. Even more voodoo stuff back there. Why would she keep these particular items hidden from view?
Good question.
They obviously have some importance to her. I'd suggest asking, but I don't know if that's the best idea given how sensitive she seems to be about the subject.
Look, I've watched Abby play these kind of games. That's what you do. You get the person to
tea
leave
should
the
be
room
ready
and
in a
then you
few
sneak.
minutes, Mr. Fordham. You can help yourself once it's done.
You're very kind, Mrs. Martin.
You can talk to her again if there's any more questions.
I've got a few questions for you, Mrs. Martin.
I'll try to answer them the best I can.
About that back room of yours.
I beg your pardon?
I don't know about this, Miles. Is this really a road you want to go down?
Actually, never mind. I misspoke. Thank you for your help.
My pleasure.
Maybe later.
How do I get to tea? Do I get the tea? Do I leave?
Go this way a little bit. Look at the beautiful light coming in from that side. Wasn't the sun going down?
She's not going to be much help right now. Best not to bother her.
So I just leave? Because I don't see how I can get tea.
Aren't you going to have your tea, Mr. Fordham?
I'm afraid I just remembered something important I need to look into. Perhaps later.
Suit yourself.
Okay, my house. I was right there. I talked to him at the jail. I got the... Oh, that's Dupree Manor. There we go.
Have you gone here yet to the St.
No, these three. I haven't gone to these three.
All right, so I would suggest going here because...
Here?
No, to the cemetery. Because there's probably not a lot of people there. Oh.
St. Dennis Cemetery. Best view
I
in the
was
city.
about to say there's not a lot of people there.
Just a shame none of the
I wonder
residents
if
can
you
enjoy
get
it.
into their
I think I'm buried
tomb
around here
and
somewhere.
Look, a
Wonder how the old gravestone is doing these days.
Oh my God, we could go see the bears. This would be Dupree's father's family, right?
Yeah.
I don't know him. Must be a recent addition to the force. Well, at least he won't recognize you.
Good day to you, officer.
Good day, sir. How may I be of assistance?
You know, it does look very New Orleans-esque with the above-ground
And they
things.
said Cajun, so I would imagine
Right.
you were in New Orleans.
And the voodoo.
Yeah.
But they're talking about there was a blimp, dirigible kind of a thing that then had
Sorry, the what?
a blimp, a dirigible,
Dirigible.
whatever. Whatever.
Getting the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Oh, the wrong event. Okay. And there was an HRH, like His Royal Highness, the Prince, somebody or other, was killed. So I just assumed this was all Londonish.
Oh, I mean, there were all sorts of royalty in and out of New Orleans. This was a...
Not when I lived there.
Well, this was a big money town.
Okay. Nice
Did you
day for a
not watch
walk.
Princess and the Frog? Come on now.
I need to get into that too. Oh.
Would you mind letting me in the tomb, please?
Afraid I can't do that, sir. This tomb is currently part of a police investigation and ain't available for visits until further notice.
I think I saw someone being mugged at the front entrance.
Nice try, sir. But that's clearly a bunch of bull.
I would have done that.
You're just trying to get me to step away so you can go inside the tomb.
What? No, I would never do such a thing.
Never.
In any case, there's another officer stationed at the entrance, so if there was somebody being mugged, he'd see it for sure.
Well, at the very least, it's nice to see the department is hiring competent officers who aren't easily fooled. Looks like people have left markings and offerings in front of this tomb. You may think it's a silly superstition, but I wish you'd leave a bottle of Bollingworth at my grave every now and then.
Oh, that's cute.
Good day to you, officer.
Afraid I ain't got time for idle chat, sir. Please, move along.
Maybe sneak in later.
Good day to you, officer.
Afraid I ain't got time for idle chat, sir.
Okay,
Please,
okay.
move along.
Okay, I can't get in there. Let's try... Oh, she got a lot of plants.
Egad! Is this someone's room or a jungle?
Quite a fascinating array of plants in here. Not to mention the machinery on the
That's
table.
what I'm talking about.
Seems like Juliet is very interested in getting extra credit.
Bookshelf. Why are those books on that second shelf look so different?
That's quite the book collection. It almost puts Adelaide's to shame.
All impeccably cataloged and organized as well, which makes the two missing volumes stand out even more.
Oh,
You should be playing this.
I'm good.
I wonder what sort of fertilizer or growth tonic these plants are getting. Whatever it is, it's definitely working.
Where's the grow lights? I need grow lights. I need to know the secret here, okay?
Those are the most vibrant flowers we've seen in a while. I bet they smell extra strong.
Yes, they certainly do.
It's a good thing you're the one with the nose. This plant makes Miles Jr. look like a single blade of grass.
Yep.
Miles Jr.?
Yes, a plant named Miles Jr.
I'm guessing they're probably full of more scientific equipment or plant-related stuff.
Ooh.
They're just doing what flies do best.
Being annoying?
Etheric pressure. What a bunch of nonsense.
Ooh. The Tesla coil.
What are they doing now?
Blowing down.
You got a thing.
No, I didn't get a thing.
Oh, no, okay.
I'm almost seeing a number in there.
Oh, would you look at that?
Oh, would you look at that?
Slowing down time.
No.
No?
No, it's just slowing them down. Kind of like the mother slowed down to almost death.
Oh.
Now read things.
Okay,
Well, now,
God,
this is
geez.
interesting.
Here, go ahead, read. Here, speaking to the mic.
Read this.
Etheric effects, flora. Showing the
Larger,
flower
more vibrant flowers.
chlorophyll production seemingly triples. And the root system's strength and increasing capacity. Oh, so she's using this machine on the plants. I need this machine. Can you imagine the lettuce I can grow?
Plants thrive from exposure to small, say the word, etheric?
Etheric currents.
How in the hell is she getting etheric currents? Anyway, further experience
With this machine right here on the on fauna, brain is dearly affected, including
a trance-like state.
She used it on the mama.
Muscle control lost, wings flap in predictable pattern. Conclusion: if animals with greater cognitive ability,
Including humans, like
are exposed to specific quantities of
Athericity.
athericity, there we
Yeah.
go. They will go into a stupor, appearing unresponsive or dead.
Oh, damn.
Who freaking called
Just a bunch
it?
of technical nonsense. I can't understand a word of it.
Just a wild guess here. You're claiming, right?
Yeah,
You
did it.
can ban this.
Somebody wants to sell some views and stuff. I'm gonna watch
Well, report them first. Report them and then ban them.
Okay.
Amazing. Amazing.
They appear to be scientific scribblings. I can't make heads nor tails of them.
That makes two of us.
Maybe we should get the hell out of here before she uses that machine on us. Couldn't we take it? We should have taken it. Let's try the university, because that's the only place left. Okay.
Oh, it's as though we've journeyed to the tropics. I don't know how you can
I
stand to
bet
keep that
that's
coat on
her.
in here. Those flowers are definitely not native to this area. They seem to be thriving in their glass tubes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I've never seen a flower grow that big. What do you suppose they're feeding them?
What's she doing to bonsai?
Hey, we got a
One
question.
of those cute little Japanese trees that are all the rage these days. Personally, I don't see how giving a tree a haircut is meant to be relaxing.
Would it be spam or bot? Bot. Bot.
Judging from that pipe, that contraption must be used to keep the plants hydrated. But it looks like a giant earwax remover to me.
What?
Quite the assortment of plants they keep in here. I wonder if they serve any purpose or are just meant to look pretty.
All right, now we just get to talk to Juliet.
Pardon the disturbance, but are you Juliet Montgomery?
I am. And you are?
Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator looking into the events surrounding your mother's attempted murder.
Ah, of course.
Have you got time to answer some questions?
Yes, that shouldn't be a problem.
Whoa, she's a handsome lady.
So, you study botany. Fascinating subject.
Are you an admirer of plants, Mr. Fordham?
My wife has the green thumb in the household, but I do have a certain appreciation for them.
Plants are amazing things. Just like people in many ways.
How do you mean?
They need attention and care. Ignore a plant, and it will wither. Give it too much attention, and it will become sick. Plants have many things to teach us, and I greatly enjoy learning from them.
I must admit, I watered my plants today. I feel very good. Well, the ones inside. The plant on the screen porch desperately needs water. Let's see.
These plants are impressive. Are they yours?
Yes, I've developed a method to make them extra healthy and strong.
Oh, yes,
They're
you
larger
have.
than anything I've ever seen. How do you do it?
Ah, but I can't reveal my secrets, Mr. Fordham. The world will hear about my discovery soon enough.
That's why she
Incidentally, do you
rented
know
that
anything
room,
about
to
Easter
hide that.
lilies?
No, I don't keep or grow those here.
Oh yeah, don't ask
Do you
her
know
about
anything
her.
about the events leading up to your mother's premature internment?
No, it was a complete shock. Mother seemed to be perfectly healthy and full of life. Then, without warning, she was dead. Or so we thought.
I take it you were glad to be wrong?
What a ridiculous question. Of course I was.
Could have been
what
an
sort
accident.
Of heartless beast would celebrate their mother's death?
Oh, I could name a few. Juliet definitely didn't shed any tears over Madame Dupre, though. That much is obvious.
Miss Montgomery, you don't have to lie to me. I'm not going to assume you tried killing your mother just because you weren't upset by her death.
I felt terrible about it. You have to understand, I didn't want her to be dead. I just felt a sense of relief. Please, don't think me a horrible person, Mr. Fordham. It's just that Mother and I aren't currently on the best of terms.
Now you ask about a boyfriend.
What can you tell me about Albert Martin?
I'm not quite sure where to begin.
Why not start by telling me what your relationship with him was?
We met here at the greenhouse. He was working as an assistant, sweeping and cleaning and fetching things for the students. My focus was on academics, naturally. I wasn't too interested in romance. In fact, I've had to turn away nearly every single one of my classmates. But with Albert, I found myself intrigued. I noticed him stealing glances, lingering just a bit too long after bringing over a book or flask, sweeping the same patch of floor near me over and over again. It wasn't too long before I had him bringing me tools and equipment, regularly.
I see.
Mother was an absolute terror when she found out.
Do you believe Mr. Martin did what he stands accused of?
I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't seem like him, but Albert can be quite passionate. If the police believe he's to blame, then they must have a reason for it. It wasn't any secret that he hated Mother. Perhaps I should have ended things sooner. It was satisfying to know that Mother was displeased, but I never imagined it would lead to something like this.
Well, it's nice to see she's all heart.
Don't ask her about the stuff.
Why don't you and your mother get along?
We've never
Why
completely
not?
seen eye to eye on anything. She always disapproved of anything I did. When I was younger, she used to forbid me from speaking to the servants. I saw no harm in a kind word or smile, but she warned us that if we were too familiar, they would take liberties. Then when I declared my intentions to pursue academic studies, she really went livid. In her opinion, a university education was tantamount to a chastity belt. What sort of man would want a wife with a head full of useless facts, she'd say.
Personally, I've always found intelligence to be quite attractive.
I'm not sure how she managed to find out about Albert and me, but when she did, she nearly had a conniption. As I'm sure you can understand, the situation at home has been less than perfect in the last few months. I'd really rather not dwell on it.
Alright, don't act, because you want to knowledge is power,
What can you tell me about your brother?
Andrew, Mama's precious little boy. If you've met him, you pretty much know all you need to. He's had the whole world handed to him on a silver platter. But he's in for a rude awakening someday. Mother can only provide for him for so long.
Ah.
You mentioned you were friends with the servants.
Yes, that's right. I didn't care that they worked for us. Everyone needs a friend.
Did your mother ever mistreat them?
Mistreat? No, I wouldn't say so. She was always very stern, though, and quite cold. If they ever shirked their duties or misbehaved, they were punished, of course, but nothing out of the ordinary that I ever saw. Most of the servants are my friends, but I'm closest with Amelie, the kitchen maid. Mother wasn't too happy about that. Amelie's been around as long as I can remember. She's like the aunt I never had.
Do you know anything about ethericity, Miss Montgomery?
You surprised me, Mr. Fordham. I had no idea someone of your profession would know or care about something like that.
I've found that it pays to be open-minded.
To answer your question, yes, I am familiar with the theory of ethericity. In fact, it's recently become a focus of my studies. Despite what the newspapers have been reporting, it's already possible to access it in small quantities from the air around us.
Have you conducted any experiments?
No, my research has been purely theoretical. I don't have the means to do anything practical, I'm afraid.
Deceiver, dissembler, her trousers are alight. I can't understand why Juliet might not want to make her research public, though.
Liar, liar, pants on fire. Yeah.
Miss Montgomery, please don't lie to me. I know you've been conducting experiments with ethericity. I've seen the room you're renting on Forest Lane.
What? But how?
I wouldn't be very good.
I wouldn't be very good at my job if I didn't find things out, Miss Montgomery. Now please, drop the act and tell me about your experiments.
Fine. I've been researching etheric effects on living organisms. I'm planning on presenting my discoveries to the board once I make more progress. So far, I've managed to discover that plant growth is accelerated significantly. It's given me quite the advantage in class.
But isn't that cheating?
You have no idea how difficult it's been for me to be taken seriously, Mr. Fordham. No matter how hard I tried, my work wasn't valued on its own merits by my peers or professors. I fought hard to get where I am. I wasn't about to lose all that just because some pig-headed idiots didn't think my best was good enough.
That sounds awfully familiar.
What about your notes on the effects of ethericity on animals?
Oh, those aren't complete. I haven't tested the effects on anything larger than flies. Those experiments were mainly to satisfy my curiosity, but they have little to do with my actual research.
Curiosity? Seems like a lot of effort to go to just to answer a question. But then, I never really understood these scientific types.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Wow, okay. So let's see.
Can't go back to the room.
Let me go back here and see if I can talk to him again.
Could I ask you some more questions, Mr. Martin?
It's not like I'm going anywhere.
Albert, did you hate Madame Dupre?
The woman is cruel, sadistic, and bigoted. When she found out about my relationship with Juliet, she sent me a letter threatening to have me killed if I got near her house or her daughter. So yes, Mr. Fordham, I hated her, but even so, I love her daughter, I wouldn't be so cruel as to take Juliet's mother away from her, even if she hated her too.
I beg your pardon?
Juliet and her mother didn't get along at all. I never asked why, but it was obvious there was something going on.
Intriguing.
That's all for now.
How did the note get back to the Breeze home? He gave to Juliet. Juliet put it there.
Investigate the... I still have to... I gotta get in the tomb somehow. I need to find a stimulant, so I need to go back and get some coffee.
Oh, that tea from his mom. I bet that's what it is. A coffee. You go to... Oh, is that coffee shop?
Yeah, the coffee shop where I started out. And it's some not good stuff.
A great place.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Okay, what have you got?
Who is this?
I seem to have hit a roadblock. There's an officer posted at Dupre's family tomb, and he won't let me in.
Makes sense. Who's the officer?
I've never seen him before. He's young, has a small scar over his left eye, and a distinct Dixie accent.
Ah, yes, that would be Officer Grant. He's only been with the department for about 2 months. I don't know a lot about him, but he's already got the reputation for being the type of policeman who'd go out of his way to help old ladies cross the street. Typical Southern gentleman, it seems. Perhaps you can use that to your advantage?
Madame Dupre's son isn't being very helpful.
Is he refusing to talk?
More like incapable. The family doctor has him pretty well drugged to the gills. I need to find some way to perk him up.
Well, you know, we are in a coffee house.
I have a feeling it will take something a touch more powerful
Wait a
than
minute.
coffee.
Oh.
That's enough about the case for now.
Okay,
That's it, I think.
The tea.
then you'd better get back to it.
It's the tea from the mom.
Touch more powerful. Okay.
Come on now. Then them voodoo ladies got
She's
some
running back and
good
forth
tea.
at lightning speed. Clearly,
they?
she dips into the coffee supply.
Oh, she's running back and forth though. Going to the back.
I can't. Can't get any coffee here, so...
Dipped into something more powerful than the coffee could.
We'll go get the tea.
Welcome back, Mr. Fordham.
She's not going to be much help right now. Best not to bother her.
Heck. Try that back room again. Why not? Piss her off real good.
There's no way you'll be able to look behind that curtain while Mrs. Martin is in the room. You'll need to get her out somehow.
See?
If you don't want to talk to you, go to the pots on the table.
Interesting. Those pots look as though they've been wrapped in tobacco leaves. The Virgin Mary. I must admit, she was the last person I was expecting to see in here. For all we know, that
Wait a minute,
rider is
okay,
some
hold
sort
on.
of demon.
So your ghost
He looks like
friend,
he's having a
Bill,
good time, at least.
That's something about, you know, said some sarcastic remark earlier about like, oh yeah, you'd have no idea anything about that kind of stuff. You got drugs at your apartment?
Oh, am I? But that puts him to sleep.
He was talking about the stimulants though when he was talking about all the drugs. Go back to your apartment, see what you got.
Hang on, let me see if I can get in here first.
Good day to you, officer.
Afraid I ain't got time for idle chat, sir. Please, move along.
I think you done messed up. Should've
Good
said
day to you,
something.
officer.
Afraid I ain't got time for idle chat, sir.
But there's
Please,
no way you're not gonna ever
move
be able
along.
to get in here. Down there. Okay.
No. Uh-huh.
Jeez. Who's this lady?
Hey, Addie. Here I am.
His wife.
It's good to have you back.
Addie?
Yes, dear?
I was wondering if you could do me a favor.
What is it?
There's an officer posted in front of Madame Dupre's family tomb, and I need to get a look inside. Could you use your wiles and charm to distract him?
My wiles and charm, hmm?
Well, you are irresistible, darling. I'm sure he wouldn't turn away a lady in need. Say you've gotten lost in the cemetery and ask him to show you the way out.
Should we really be tricking a police officer like that?
There's no harm in it, and I won't be but a moment inside. It's in a good cause.
All right, let's go then.
Yeah, here we go.
Cutscene.
Excuse me, officer. I was wondering if you could help me?
What do you want?
Wow.
I seem to have gotten all turned around. Do you have any idea how to get to the front gate?
My suggestion would be to turn around and head back the way you came.
Yes, I've tried that, but I seem to just be going in circles. Perhaps you could point me in the right direction?
Stop right there. That's quite enough from you.
I beg your pardon?
Don't think I can't tell what your game is. You're trying to lure me away from here and into some alley where your gang of Sambos is gonna rob me blind.
Wow.
Exactly how many of them have you got lying in wait for poor unsuspecting fools you bring them?
Just one.
Yes!
Yeah.
And he doesn't appreciate you talking to his wife that way.
Damn
You know,
right.
Miles, sometimes
Damn
I
right.
forget how absolutely delightful it is to watch you lose your head.
Miles, was that really necessary?
Yes, that was
I'm
necessary.
Sorry, Addie. You know how I get with people whose minds are full of that rubbish.
Let's just get him out of sight before this lands both of us in jail. That bush over there should work. I have to say, I wasn't expecting assaulting a policeman to be on today's activity list.
It'll be fine. When you're on the force as long as I was, you can pretty much get away with murder.
Although I think you may have already used up that privilege.
Well, it's been fun, but I need to take my wiles and charm over to my appointment with
I need to
Mrs.
take my
Lefebvre.
wiles and
I'll see you at home later, dear. Try to stay out of trouble.
That was hilarious. So good, so good.
What a dramatic statue. I'm rather surprised no one has defaced it. That nest is full of eggs. But where's the mother bird?
There's gotta be a way
Perhaps she
in
abandoned
then.
it.
Always assuming the worst, aren't you, Miles? This must be what was going to be Madame Dupre's final resting place.
I don't see anything inside.
What, were you expecting a note from her attacker?
No, but I was hoping for some kind of clue at the very least.
One flower there.
These crypts are reserved for future generations of Chestertons to rot in.
There are only 3 left.
Then let's hope the Chestertons aren't opposed to spending eternity cozied up to one another. These crypts are reserved for future...
There are only 3 left.
Then let's hope the
Celine, 1823 to 1844. Taken too soon. Rest ye with the angels.
Okay.
Sarah Chesterton, 1784 to 1812. I told you I was sick.
I have a question. Do you remember the dates? Was it 1680 to 1760?
No, not really.
Dale Chesterton, 1795 to 1843. A good man. Rest in peace. Jane Scott Chesterton, 1746 to 1815. Ab Eterno. Desmond Chesterton, 1745 to 1810. Strong in life, stronger in death. John Patrick Chesterton, 1740 to 1825. Patriarch, leader, family man.
What a dramatic statue. I'm rather surprised no one has defaced it. I suppose the whole heaven shining down upon the tomb motif is good for the dead people's self-esteem.
Unmarked, unmarked, unmarked.
Looked at the other 8.
Yeah.
I would write them down.
Douglas
Dates have to be
Chesterton,
important.
I have a book.
1791 to 1840.
Good riddance.
Good riddance.
Maybe I did look at the ball. I didn't see that.
That nest is full of eggs. But where's the mother bird?
Perhaps she abandoned it.
Always assuming the worst, aren't you, Miles?
The skylight. I just am not seeing anything else.
Okay, so everything you read appears in your book.
Pretty much, yeah.
Go back to those books, man. Gotta be.
I was supposed to question the residents, investigate the tomb. That's what I'm doing now. I gotta find the stimulant and the source of the rift.
Source of the
Most likely poisoned. Wait a minute. Okay. No suspects.
Maybe it won't update until you leave. But however, I hope it updates.
Looks like people have left markings and offerings in front of this tomb. You may think it's a silly superstition, but I wish you'd leave a bottle of Bollingworth at my grave every now and then.
Okay, let's go.
You didn't look for any.
That's true.
Ooh, your wife isn't where she said she was gonna be.
She has a haircutting appointment. She said she had to go.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought she said.
Yes, your soporific is still in there. Stop being so paranoid.
Your what?
Soporific.
It's admirable just how organized Adelaide is. Maybe someday the same can be said about you.
It's what he takes to go to sleep.
Oh. What's on this thing over here? Bottle up there.
Bollingworth Ale. My
Yeah.
favorite. It's been so...
Yeah, there's nothing here. I'm gonna try to get the coffee.
She's running back and forth at lightning speed. Clearly, she dips into the coffee supply. Not in much of a hurry to clean up in here, are they?
Or she has something.
All that
stronger.
metal and tubing, just the specialty house brews. These are definitely not coffee.
Stimulant she's taking.
She's running back and forth
Hold
at
on.
lightning speed. Clearly, she dips into the coffee supply.
We haven't anything to discuss right now, Fordham. Come back when you've got something for me.
All that metal and tubing, just to... Give me an old-fashioned tea kettle any day. If this is how they store their coffee beans, it's probably...
Okay. Yeah, not,
Maybe you can get something from the Juliet.
here.
She's busy. Best not to bother her until we have something to ask her.
Okay, we hang out till the tea's ready. I don't know.
Welcome back, Mr. Fordham.
Talk to her now.
She's not going to be much help right now. Best not to
What about
bother
the
her.
doctor again? Just go back to that doctor and be like, you know what? I don't care. Give me something to give to the son.
Okay, that's a good idea.
And you're here to oversee.
This quack hasn't got anything more for us to learn right now. With her vast sums of wealth, Madame Dupre could
Kitchen.
probably feed a starving family for the next 30 years.
Amelie.
Instead,
Say the name.
Amelie.
Oh, is it is right.
See, watch.
Polly want a cracker?
No, thank you. Rock.
Pieces of 8?
Hi, matey. Rock.
Who's a pretty bird?
Rock. Ray's a pretty bird.
Okay, so his name is Ray. That makes sense. Yeah, can't talk to the butt or see that.
That's the daughter.
So long,
So
Birdie.
long, Birdie.
Rock. Bye-bye.
I bet she got some.
Pardon me, miss.
I told you I'm very busy, and I'll get in trouble if I'm caught speaking to you.
Amelie, please. I need to know what you know about Madame Dupre.
What? How did you know my name?
Juliet told me about you.
Miss Juliet?
Yes, I spoke to her at the university. She mentioned you two were friends.
Yes, that's right. She's always been so good to me.
Look, Amelie, I'm just trying to get some information. And I have a feeling you can be very helpful if you just let me talk to you.
All right, fine. But do it as fast as you can.
Tell me about Madame Dupre.
Oh, I really shouldn't, sir.
It would greatly help my investigation if you did.
Madame Dupre was kind enough to hire me as her cook. It's hard to get jobs in the city. Lots of people want their servants to use those new machines. My sister's brother-in-law got half his leg blown off by one of those new ovens. He's lucky he wasn't killed. So I'm plenty happy working here doing real people's work. But Madam can be difficult sometimes.
Difficult? What do you mean by that?
No, I said enough.
What do you know about Juliet?
She was always so kind to me and the others, but her mother don't like that one bit. Still, she sneaks down into the kitchen to keep me company some nights. Even though she's a good soul, I think part of her does it just to spite her mother.
Are you the only remaining servant here?
No, there's another one, Marcel.
Oh.
He's the new gardener. I haven't seen him in a few days, though. Not since before Madam's incident.
Yeah. That's the real lover of Juliet, and she has set up this voodoo boy.
What can you tell me about Andrew?
He ain't so bad. Kinda spoiled, but he mostly cleans up after himself. Has a whole private part of the house, but I think he only uses one room. Better for me, way less to clean.
So she is really in love with this gardener. She set up the voodoo boy who had a crush on her.
Right.
And that's why her mom sent that boy the note.
Right.
And that's why she's just like, oh, perfect. I'm gonna
Throw in her
dude. I don't
right,
care.
exactly.
What do you know about Madame Dupre's supposed death?
All I can tell you is that whoever did it really hated her.
Do you know Albert Martin, the man accused of the crime?
No, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Amelie. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Now please, let me get back to work.
But I mean, look around.
Certainly no shortage of bowls or food preparation items around here.
Right, and then the
Yeah,
gumbo.
it looks like gumbo's on the menu tonight. I wonder how it compares with Upton's special recipe.
I have some questions for you.
Oh, goody.
What can you tell me about your sister, Juliet?
I'm reminded of a famous quote, Mr. Fordham. Parting is such sweet sorrow. Let us part on good terms and avoid the subject altogether, please.
Thanks for your time.
No, thank you for yours.
This is the room that had stuff in it, right? Yes, we had stuff here. The workstation.
I hope remembering what page they were on wasn't too important.
Looks like it's a letter for Andrew.
Oh, wow, okay. Enclosed is agreed upon fee. I wouldn't be able to concentrate on exams without this help. Dr. Tennyson charged an obscene amount. Thank goodness for people like you. Good pharmacies. Sorry to break your mother. I'll wait a few days before passing by. Concentrate on exams. Okay, so he's made something here. That's what he
Bottle is
needs.
empty.
Oh gosh.
I can only wonder what sort of potions Andrew can... What in the ether is that thing supposed to be? Actually, I'd rather not know. Is this really the best that medical science has to offer?
So he's used. Ah. An empty bottle of pills doesn't energize even the laziest people. Benzomethylglycanine. Well, okay, that's what we need to give him. I don't know where we're going to get it. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, it's playing a record. I'm at a loss.
I've never seen so many beauty products together in one place. Doesn't look like they get used much, though.
Locked. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
Why is he not picking the lock? Bill taught him how to do that.
Nothing else of interest in there. Oh, dear God, no. Please, let's not expose ourselves to that drivel again. Doesn't appear to be very brief if there's 2 volumes of it. I wonder if anyone outside the family would find this even remotely interesting. Doesn't appear to be very... A horrible little porcelain figurine. Madame Dupre didn't strike me...
Right, okay. So we need to get those vigor pills to give to the son, and I don't know where to get them from.
You go into his part of the house? It's the only... Can you go upstairs? Or...
I've been in the kitchen and upstairs, and that's it, so...
So basically, you're admitting it's kicking your butt?
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
Well, I mean...
This quack hasn't got anything more for us to learn right now.
No, you can't. Got time.
With her vast sums of wealth, Madame Dupre could probably feed a starving family for the next 30 years.
Now have
Right.
to go through the right
She
clicks.
uses the money to keep her hedges trimmed.
The fountain's not
This fountain probably looked
working.
nicer when it was working, but right now it's just a breeding ground for mosquitoes.
Why is
There's an
it
angel on
not
the fountain,
working?
but it doesn't look like it's weeping. This would probably be too risky a place to hide something anyway.
Oh, that's new.
This fountain probably looked nicer when it was working, but right now it's just a breeding ground for mosquitoes. There's an angel on the fountain, but it doesn't look like it's weeping. This would probably be too risky a place to hide something anyway.
Okay. Gotta figure this out. Gotta figure this out. Let's go talk to him again.
Nothing else to ask him right now. He hasn't got much time left. Best not to waste it. He's watching you like a hawk. Looks liable.
Okay.
Welcome back, Mr. Fordham.
So I just wait for the tea? We're gonna wait for the tea. We're gonna wait and see what happens. and I'm going to take a Tinkletoria break. I'll be right back. Did he just fix his collar?
She's not gonna be much help right now. Best not to bother her.
How do I get the tea? I'm not gonna get any tea from here. Okay. You do nothing for me. No help. No help. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do I'm gonna hit the be right back screen for just a second. And I'm gonna pull up what is this called? Stream Raiders. At least I can distract myself with the Stream Raiders while I'm trying to figure this out. All right. Quests. Store. Don't even know what to buy. Let's start a battle. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, the archer, that's good. We'll put the archer up there. There we go. Now, you know what I didn't see? I didn't see anything pop up in chat about the stream raiders. Isn't it supposed to do that automatically? Okay. What did I learn? I thought I investigated the tomb. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
What a dramatic statue. I'm rather surprised no one has defaced it. Hang on. You don't suppose this is... Surprise, surprise! A hidden compartment with a stash of pills inside.
What?
Seems Mr. Montgomery has a little business on the side.
Oh, now we can go. Okay. Here. Here.
I have some questions for you.
Oh, goody.
You'll never believe what I found in your family's tomb.
Oh? Was it a ghost?
No, it was these vigor pills. You wouldn't happen to know how they got there, would you?
I see you really are good at your job, aren't you, Mr. Fordham?
Look, Andrew, I'm in no mood for games.
Oh. Highly illegal, willing to overlook in exchange for a cooperation. Just be quiet and take one of these pills.
Just be quiet and take one of these pills.
I suppose one would help. Thank you.
There we go.
My goodness, I always forget how fast those pills work. My heart is racing. You said you had questions, didn't you? Well, go on, ask them already. You mustn't waste any more time.
Well, that seems to have done the trick. I just hope we haven't doomed him to a heart attack.
How do you typically spend your days, Mr. Montgomery? What are your interests?
I study pharmacology at the university. I'll be graduating next year if all goes well. I just hope Mother has recovered enough by then to understand what's going on. She and Jean were so proud of me when I started university. I'd be so disappointed if she couldn't see me finish.
I take it Jean is your stepfather.
He is. Mother married him 5 years after my father died of consumption.
My condolences. Do you have a good relationship with him?
Not terribly. Truth is, I hardly ever see him. In fact, before the funeral, I hadn't seen him at all this month.
Where is he now?
I don't know for certain, but it seems likely he's at his hunting cabin.
His hunting cabin?
Yes, he often goes there. It's his way of leaving polite society behind and spending time with his thoughts. Considering what Mother just went through, well, I would guess that's where he's gone. Although, to be honest, I don't know why he's not here with Mother in her time of need.
Why do people run away from their problems instead of facing them? Why, Miles?
Do you know where this cabin is?
Afraid not. I don't share his passions, so I never cared much to accompany him on his outings.
What can you tell me about your sister, Juliet?
Juliet, smart as a whip and just as forgiving. She's a fighter, that one. Despite being the only woman in her class, she's managed to rank at the top.
Impressive.
I only wish Mother was more accepting of Juliet going to university. But you don't want to hear about boring family matters, I'm sure.
Oh, but
yeah,
family
I do.
matters are
I
my
do.
favorite. It's always so reassuring to know how much worse off everyone else is.
So, you're running some kind of pill business on the side.
I'm providing a service, Mr. Fordham. Not everyone in this life is as lucky as I am. People pay top crown for luxuries like airship tickets and social club memberships. Medicine should be affordable to all. Dr. Tennyson has a patent on the energy pill formula and thus a monopoly on the market. That means he can charge whatever he wants. Students use these kinds of pills all the time, you know. Academic rigors can be overwhelming, and concentrating can be difficult without help sometimes. I've got the skills and the equipment. If I can replicate the formula, help my fellow students, and sell them at a much more reasonable price, why shouldn't I?
There's the fact that what you're doing is illegal.
Oh, you're starting to sound just like Mother. And just because it's illegal doesn't mean it's immoral. I can think of plenty of examples where the opposite is true.
You're probably the most altruistic person I've met all month.
The sad part is it's true.
That's a rather exotic bird you've got.
Yes, Ray is nice when he's quiet. But get him started and it's tough to shut him up.
Who trained him?
I think he already knew some phrases when Mother bought him. She's managed to teach him a few new ones, though.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
I can't believe anyone would be so cruel as to do what that wretched bastard Martin did to her. Mother is kind and generous and everyone loves her. She's even good enough to hire actual people to do the housework. Not many wealthy families do that, you know. They just use automated machines or hire servants to operate the manual ones.
Let's see.
What's your relationship with the servants like?
Relationship? I
Oh
don't
my
have
God.
one with them. They're servants. Mother always made it clear that they weren't part of the family, just help. We've only got 2 on staff right now, though, the kitchen girl and the gardener.
How is it you know Albert Martin?
He works at the greenhouse where my sister Juliet does her research. The 2 of them were involved romantically, and Mother didn't like that at all. I heard their fights. They were ghastly.
What exactly made you suspect he was the one responsible for what happened to your mother?
Well, I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? His mother's a notorious voodoo witch. Those people do all sorts of awful things to our kind. It's all out of spite, you know. He knew Mother disapproved of his relationship with Juliet, so he plotted to get rid of her.
What exactly were the circumstances leading up to your mother's supposed death?
A few days ago, I arrived home from school and found her collapsed on the floor. She wasn't breathing, so I immediately contacted Dr. Fellows. He examined her and pronounced her dead. We were all completely shocked. I was devastated. She'd been in fine health. In fact, she'd just been out riding that morning. You can imagine our
Riding?
surprise at the funeral when she sprang back to life.
Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
Let's talk to the bird again.
Polly, want a cracker?
No, thank you. Rock!
Pieces of 8?
Hi, matey. Rock!
Who's a pretty bird?
Rock! Ray's a pretty bird.
Polly, want a cracker?
No, thank you. Rock!
Okay, nothing new to the birdie.
So long, Birdie.
Rock! Bye-bye.
What did we get new in here? A torn letter. The landlady's note. Question the resident of Dupree's Manor. Wow, who else am I supposed to... More tomb stuff. The hunting cabin. Okay. Maybe the hunting cabin will pop up. It did not. So I'm going to talk to the doctor again, maybe?
Doctor, may I ask you a few questions?
Please be my guest.
Tell me what you know about Jean Dupre.
I'd rather not speak of him. Madame Dupre does not need to be agitated any further.
I take it you don't look very favorably upon him, then.
I'll just say this. If my wife had been attacked and left for dead, you can be sure I wouldn't leave her side.
What a gentleman. He doesn't even leave women who aren't his wife.
I see what you mean. Do you know where I might find him?
I only wish I did.
Those are all the questions I've got for now.
I hope I answered them adequately.
Okay, maybe Juliet knows where stepfather is.
Hello again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Mr. Fordham. Not at all.
Is there anything you can tell me about your stepfather, Jean?
He's a kind man. I don't really see him too often. He seemed rather upset at Mother's funeral, but I can't help but wonder if he feels the same way as I do about her death.
What do you mean?
Just that I get the distinct impression that he and Mother's marriage isn't as perfect as they'd like it to appear.
I'm starting to sense a trend here.
Your brother told me that Jean enjoys hunting. Do you know where his cabin is?
Yes, it's in Fenton Swamp. I went out there with him a few times, but I didn't really enjoy it. Frankly, the place is rather grotesque. All those stuffed trophies staring at you with their cold, dead eyes. Plants are much nicer to have around. Anyway, if you take the main road through the swamp about 1.5 miles, you'll come upon a small dirt path that goes northeast. Take that until you see a small cabin on the left. That's it.
Thank you for the information, Miss Montgomery.
We found it.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
What? Hunting
Hello?
cabin.
Is anyone here?
Strange of Dupre to leave the door unlocked.
Well,
Maybe
he's...
it means he'll be returning soon.
Yeah, there's a gun missing. He's gone.
One of the guns is missing. Jean must be out using it currently. Satchels, boxes, and other assorted boring things for hunting. I had a nasty run-in with an alligator when I was a child. One less in the world doesn't really bother me, to be honest. An absolute bore. Are these even native to New Britannia? Some high society type in the middle of a hunt. I don't understand why anyone would get a thrill out of murdering innocent creatures. Not a very dignified end for our friend Mr. Bear. It seems Mr. Dupre is a Bollingworth man. Maybe he's not so bad after all. You really have to wonder about someone who chooses to surround themselves with dead things.
Let's see if Jean has anything interesting in here.
Not very much, except a letter.
Letter. Dear Jean, thank you so much for your help. To think that Mother would try and have me withdrawn from my studies is just unbelievable. Don't worry. I won't tell her you made the university change their minds. One attempt to ruin a life is quite enough, Juliet. Aha! Oh,
Who the
wow.
hell are you? What are you doing in my cabin?
Jean Dupre, I presume?
Yes, that's right. Who are you?
Miles Fordham, private investigator. I'm looking into the attempted murder of your wife.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Forgive my rudeness, but you startled me.
Perfectly understandable, Mr. Dupre.
This is a man whose bark is most definitely worse than his bite.
Can we talk, Mr. Dupre?
I suppose so. Yes.
I suppose it goes without saying that you enjoy hunting, Mr. Dupre?
Yes, I do. I consider myself something of an outdoorsman, you see. It's nice to be able to go out and get some fresh air after being sat at the bank all day.
What about your home life?
Truth be told, I'm not at home as often as I'd like to be. I've been trying to make more time, but something usually comes up. Business is business, after all.
Yeah, but what business are we talking about here exactly?
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
Oh, my dear wife. The past few days have been just awful for all of us.
Yes, I can imagine. How long have you been married?
For 7 wonderful years. Laura and I are just as much in love now as we were on the day we married.
Lord, does he actually
Which is
expect
not at
anyone to
all,
believe that
right?
nonsense?
Not at all.
You'll pardon me for being so frank, Mr. Dupre, but why are you out hunting and not at your wife's side?
Excuse me? Who are you to lecture me on my marriage?
A fellow married man, that's who. Your wife has just suffered a very traumatic ordeal. Shouldn't you be at home caring for her?
But with all the confusion at the house with the police investigating and her being attended to by her doctor, I just needed to get away for a bit. Surely you can understand, Mr. Fordham.
There's something off about this guy, Miles. He's definitely hiding something. And for once, I don't think it's from his wife.
What can you tell me about your stepchildren?
Andrew and Juliet? I see a bright future ahead for both of them.
What's your relationship with them like?
It's fine. Why do you ask?
I got the distinct impression from both of them that they hardly ever see you.
Well, yes, I suppose that is true. We don't spend much time together. But they're both so busy with school, I don't want to get in their way. Not to mention my job keeps me away from home for considerable periods of time.
Excuses, excuses. I get the feeling Mr. Dupre avoids his family on purpose. But why?
Do you know anything about the circumstances surrounding Madame Dupre's death?
Horrible. Simply horrible.
Do you have any idea why Mr. Martin might have attempted to kill her?
Mr. Martin? You mean the boys they arrested? Andrew said it's because Martin and his mother are witches who prey on the well-to-do. You only need to take one look at him to see his trouble. It's a shame they put him away so quickly. I'd have liked to teach him a lesson or two, believe you me.
Yeah, right. A lesson on how to cower in the corner, most likely.
Do you know anything about Madame Dupre trying to get Juliet taken out of her classes at the university?
Ah, yes. Laura didn't approve of her daughter's desire to further her education. So, she sent a letter to the university requesting Juliet's withdrawal. I didn't approve of her trying to meddle in Juliet's affairs. If she wants to study, she should be free to do so. I wrote them a letter myself, without Laura's knowledge, telling them to disregard the previous request for withdrawal.
That's very good of you.
Yes, well, I dislike seeing people being told what they can and can't do by others.
Yet, he seems perfectly willing to employ servants at his home. Well, I suppose we're all hypocrites in one way or another.
I'll be going now.
Au revoir, Mr. Fordham.
Okay, I did all these things. I still have no suspects. Wow. I suck at this. Not where I wanted to be.
This quack hasn't gotten anything more for us to learn right now.
I want to go to the coffee thing.
As amusing as it is to chat with this oddball, I think we've exhausted his usefulness at the moment.
Okay.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Okay, what have you got?
Jean Dupre isn't talking very much. I think he's hiding something.
Well, you have a knack for making people divulge their secrets.
There has to be something that'll make him talk. Perhaps I should check with those close to him. That's enough about the case for now.
Okay.
That's it, I think.
Oh my god.
Then you'd better get back to it.
Now I gotta go back and talk to everybody. Alright, we'll go here.
Hello again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Mr. Fordham. Not at all.
Did your mother try to get you withdrawn from the university?
As a matter of fact, she did. Just another one of the many ways she tried interfering with my life.
What happened, exactly?
Mother wrote the university requesting that I be withdrawn. I found out about it when the enrollment office contacted me. I couldn't believe it at first. I thought it was some sort of mistake, but then they showed me the letter.
I take it you were upset.
More than upset, Mr. Fordham. I was furious. I was trying to make a real life for myself. One that wasn't about dresses or debutante balls or fending off suitors. I'd been given the chance to make something of myself, and Mother was ready to bring it all crashing down.
Oh,
just because she didn't agree with it.
But in the end, you're still here.
Yes, Jean stepped in and fixed everything. He didn't have to do it, but it was very good of him. I'm afraid that was the beginning of the end of my relationship with Mother. We never really managed to fix things after that.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Fordham, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Wait, what am I saying? Of course you are. Madame Dupre has been interfering with Juliet's studies and disapproved of her relationship with Martin. Hence, they're falling out. Plus, the information in Juliet's notes about ethericity, putting animals into a death-like trance, seems awfully suspicious.
We have
It's
a
enough
suspect.
to establish both means and motive. That's plenty to consider her a suspect.
But yet I don't feel it was her. Did the mother actually write that letter? Or did somebody else write the letter? You know what I'm saying? Hates her mother. Okay. We have to go talk to him again. We already did that. We need to talk to everybody else that knew Jean. So that would be people in this house.
This quack hasn't gotten anything more for us to learn right now.
Okay. Maybe Amelie? And why has no one found the missing gardener? No, not Martin.
As amusing as it is to chat with this oddball, I think...
Amelie?
Yes? What is it? We mustn't be seen talking.
Anything you can tell me about Jean?
I hardly ever see him. Only at dinner. He's scared of Madam, and so he finds any reason to get out of the house and stay away as long as he can.
Scared of her.
Oh, it's true. You should see him when they're in private. Like a shamed puppy that dirtied the carpet.
Interesting.
Do you have any idea why Jean is so afraid of Madame Dupre?
If he's seen the same things we have, then yes.
What kind of things?
No, I spoke out of turn. Forget I said anything.
Amelie, listen to me. A potentially innocent man's life is on the line. If I don't find out who attacked Madame Dupre, he's as good as dead. So if there are any facts or details you know that I don't, you need to tell me.
I can't.
You can. I'm not with the police. If Madame Dupre did something wrong, I'm not going to look the other way. Trust me, I'm on your side.
Madam beats the servants. I think she even does it for fun.
Oh my.
I hear the screams sometimes. I don't know how anyone else in the family doesn't. Maybe they do and just ignore it. I don't know. But if Mr. Dupre knows what she do, It explains why he's so scared of her.
Did Madame Dupre ever abuse you?
No, I was lucky, but some of the others weren't.
Like who? I need details, Amelie.
The old gardener, Guy Dumas, and one of the maids, Celine. I saw Madame going after them the most. Don't know what they did to deserve it, but I would see her walk by in a rage, whip in one hand and a book in the other.
A book? What book?
Oh, I don't know. I can't read, so I don't know what it said on the cover. But it's the same color as the stew spice I always use. Don't know what she used it for, but she always had it with her, just before a beating.
Maybe she'd recite them some of her terrible poetry. I'm sure that was torture enough.
Ooh.
Tell me more about Guy and Celine.
They were deeply in love with each other. I used to hear them talk about how they wanted to run away together.
What happened to them?
I don't know. One day they were here, and then one day they weren't.
Do you think Madame Dupre may have done something to them?
I couldn't say for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if she had. Please, let's not talk about this anymore.
Thank you, Amelie. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Now please, let me get back to work.
She's gonna get back to work. Check my book. Return to Upton and accuse. Okay. There's more to do in this tomb. I can speak to him again. Stew spice. Great. It's one of these
Looks
colors.
like the type of spices you'd use in a stew. Most likely paprika or turmeric. Nice variety of reds and oranges.
Reds and oranges. Okay. Let's go upstairs. Look for a book with red and orange. Maybe the one that was at an angle in the room. This room. Yes, it's at an angle. Choice and consequences.
Well, this should be the book Amelie mentioned. Well,
Oh my.
what have
Scared
we
me to
here?
A whip. And it has dried blood on it. How ghastly.
This house is just full of secrets, isn't it?
Wow.
That's an old uniform, from the turn of the century by the look of it. This must be Madame Dupre's first husband. Kinda strange that she'd still keep his portrait in the bedroom.
Maybe I should try doing that on the piano now that I've looked at that picture. Makes no sense. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing, okay.
I have some questions for you.
All right.
Did you know Guy Dumas?
The old gardener? Sure, I knew him. We didn't talk very much. He was just a servant after all, but he seemed like a nice man. He stopped coming around about 2 months ago.
What the
Too bad,
hell?
really. He did a good job of keeping the gardens looking nice. The new one is all right, but he just doesn't have that special touch Guy did.
Oh, the battle's ready. I didn't put the thing, and this just me. Okay. Can I beat 31 enemies? Probably not. Oh, I lost. Okay. That was just. Well, I don't know. We'll go back to. We'll just go back to this and not do any more of that.
Were you familiar with a servant named Celine?
Yes, I believe she was one of the maids. I didn't talk to her very much. Oh, she quit not so long ago. At least I assume she did. I haven't seen her in about 3 months.
Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
As amusing as it is to chat.
Okay. Oh, nope. Go back in. Let's go ask Amelie about those people. Getting a little repetitive.
Amelie?
Yes? What is it? We mustn't be seen talking.
I found this upstairs in Madame Dupre's bedroom. Do you recognize it?
Oh, please take that away, Mr. Fordham. Why would you show it to me?
I'm sorry. I didn't think it would upset you.
Miles. Maybe someday you'll learn how to read basic human emotions.
Thank you, Amelie. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Now please, let me get back to work.
Okay, that was the wrong thing to do.
This quack hasn't gotten anything.
Hello again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Mr. Fordham. Not at all.
He has certainly got his 10,000 steps in for the day.
Do you know Guy Dumas?
Yes, he was one of our servants. He used to enjoy reading my books, as well as Andrew's.
When did you see him last?
Just last week, he came by to see me and asked to borrow some books.
Do you know where I might be able to find him?
Not really. I get the impression that he moves around frequently. But I can tell him you're looking for him next time I see him, if you like.
Please do. Although hopefully I'll be able to find him before then. Were you friends with Celine, the maid?
Yes, I was quite fond of Celine. She was so sweet and interesting to talk to. One day, she just left the house with no explanation. Mother said it was because she had found work elsewhere. I was terribly saddened. I wish I'd had the chance to say goodbye to her, at least. What's your interest in her?
Oh, I was just curious, that's all. No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Madame Dupree must have killed her and buried her in the garden. No, she would have made the servant bury her in the garden, but... Let's go show him the bloody whip and see what he has to say about it.
Oh, Mr. Fordham, you're back.
Can we talk, Mr. Dupre?
I suppose so. Yes.
Do you fear your wife, Mr. Dupre?
Do I... what?
The question's quite simple. Are you afraid of Madame Dupre?
Why in the ether would you think that?
I'd be afraid of someone who kept a bloody whip in my bedroom. Care to explain that?
You don't know her like I do. No one does. Well, no one aside from the servants, I suppose. She's cruel, Mr. Fordham. Crueler than anyone or anything I've ever seen.
Tell me more about Madame Dupre's cruelty.
She treats the servants like animals, Mr. Fordham. She would say the most vile, awful things to them. Things I would expect to hear on the Gascon docks, not from the lips of a grande dame. And the beatings. Oh, God. The screams I would hear from somewhere in the house. I never dared find out where.
Nobody else ever heard the screaming?
No. She was cunning. She would do it when no one else was around. Once she knew I had heard, she threatened me. Told me she would...
Yes?
She threatened to expose my secret, Mr. Fordham.
And what secret is that?
Our marriage is one of convenience. It's all for show. Laura has herself a well-to-do husband, and I am a normal man in the eyes of society.
I see. I suppose that would explain a few things.
Well, now, how was that not obvious to you? The soporific is really having a bad effect on you.
Don't worry, Mr. Dupre. Your secret's safe with me.
Thank you, Mr. Fordham.
Tell me what you know about Guy Dumas and Celine.
Celine had an accident.
What kind of accident?
Laura thought Celine had been stealing her silverware. She got a bit carried away with a beating.
Wow,
and
that is not an
Dupre
accident.
killed Celine?
Yes, she did. In order to keep it quiet, she had Celine placed in our family tomb.
I see. What about Guy?
I don't know. I never saw him again after that.
Well, this case has certainly taken a turn for the sinister.
I'll be going now.
Au revoir, Mr. Fordham.
Wow, okay, let's see. Go back to the tomb. I'm trying to find out more about that. I gotta go back to the tomb. So this is probably supposed to be like an hour game, and it's taken me over 3 hours now. Yes, very good.
These crypts are reserved for future generations of Chestertons to rot in.
There are only 3 left.
Then let's hope the Chestertons aren't opposed to spending eternity. This must be what was going to be Madame Dupre's final resting place.
I don't see anything.
What? Were you expecting a note from her attacker?
No, but I was hoping for some kind of clue at the very least. Dale Chesterton, 1795 to 1843. A good man. Rest in peace. Sarah Chesterton, 1784 to 8. Jane Scott Chesterton, 1746 to. Desmond Chesterton, 1745 to 1810. John Patrick Chesterton. William Arthur Chesterton, Douglas Chesterton, 1790.
I have to admit, it's a fairly ingenious hiding spot. I suppose the whole heaven shining down upon the tomb motif is good for the dead people's self-esteem. That nest is full of eggs, but where's the mother bird?
Perhaps she abandoned it.
Always assuming the worst, aren't you, Miles?
I don't see any clues here.
This must be what was going to be Madame Dupre's final resting place.
I don't see anything inside.
What? Were you expecting a...
No, but I was hoping for some kind of clue at the very least.
This just goes to show you can't take it with you, so you might as well spend it all on a giant tomb. The plaque says Harrison. Doesn't look very opulent, so I guess it doesn't belong to anyone important. Looks like people have left markings and offerings in front of this tomb. You may think it's a silly superstition, but I wish you'd leave... Nice view of the river from up here. You can hardly even see the cloud of smog over the chum. This just goes to show you can't take it...
I'm not finding an extra clue in here at all. Okay. We can go talk to her.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
I think I'm ready to wrap this case up.
Okay, who's your prime suspect?
Only have one.
It was Juliet Montgomery, Madame Dupre's estranged daughter.
Her daughter? But why?
Madame Dupre disapproved of Juliet's relationship with Mr. Martin and also tried to have her withdrawn from university. Juliet grew to hate her and wanted to be free of her overbearing and controlling influence.
So, how did she do it?
Aside from studying botany, Juliet is also interested in ethericity. She rents a room in the chum where she conducts her experiments. Among her notes, she talks about the ability to use the power to put living things into a death-like trance.
Fiendish. Nice work, Fordham. I'll pass along the information and we can make an arrest. It'll be bittersweet news for Mr. Martin, I think. And of course, I'll dip into the department's Good Samaritan fund to get you proper compensation for your work. For now, go home to your wife. I'm sure I'll have something else for you to look into fairly soon.
Juliet Montgomery?
Yes, may I help you with something?
You're under arrest for the attempted murder of Madame Laura Dupre.
What? But how can that be?
Come with me, Miss Montgomery. We'll need to question you at the station.
Addie, I'm home. Addie?
She must still be out at her hairdressing appointment. I'm glad we're alone because I wanted to talk to you about something.
Yes, Bill, I know. I told you I'm doing my best to try and find the flower shop burglar.
No, for once, this isn't about him. This is about you.
You want to talk about me? What about me?
You can play dumb and deflect all you like with everyone else around you, but it won't work with me. I know exactly what you're thinking, and you know exactly what I'm going to say.
I'm sick of games, Bill. I can't guess. Just tell me.
Have you already forgotten the old days, Miles? Before I died, we were solving cases like nobody's business. You were one of the best detectives on the force. But ever since you started taking that soporific, your mind hasn't been as sharp as before. If you're serious about taking on more complex cases, you need to listen to Adelaide and stop taking it. It's already had a negative effect on your performance.
What are you talking about? We discovered it was Juliet who was to blame.
Yes, but if you were working at your full abilities, you'd have come to that conclusion much sooner.
If I stop taking it, you won't let me sleep through the night. Nothing will change.
Well, things would change if you found you-know-who.
I thought you said we weren't going to talk about that right now.
Yeah, well, I say a lot of things.
An understatement if ever there was one. Can't you just keep quiet without me having to take something?
Afraid not, old friend. That's just not who I am or how this works.
If you keep me up all night, I'll go crazy. Things have been hard enough as it is. And if, God forbid, Adelaide were ever to find out about...
Hello, Miles.
Who are
Is
you
there
talking
someone
to?
else here?
Yeah.
I thought I heard you talking just now.
Fantastic. The jig is up. And here I thought we were doing so well, too.
Oh, yes, I was just calling out to see if you were home yet.
Well, I am now.
How was your appointment?
Mrs. Lefebvre was her usual bossy and overly picky self, but she gave me a very generous tip.
That's good.
So I stopped by the shop on the way home and bought a new deck of cards.
Excellent. Shall we have a few rounds of écarté? I believe you demanded a rematch last time we played.
Yes, that would be nice.
Well, you certainly managed to dodge that bullet. I only wish I could say the same.
Funny. 2